Jason Wilde.
Is there anything anybody loves more than agreeing with Tausch?
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I got a hunch this isn't going to be concise either.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
I would say that you are pretty easygoing. You're actually probably more easygoing than I am.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, you're not easygoing at all.
Hey!
On 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Wednesday edition. The day 2 of the grind at Badgers camp in Platteville for Old T edition. The I wonder what he's wearing and who will give him a hard time edition. The you went out for ice cream. I never found out what you had when you went out for ice cream edition. The Bryan Bulaga scheduled to appear edition. The are there championship windows or not edition. And the Packers signed a defensive end yesterday, and it may be in my top 5 of favorite transactions during my time covering the team. And that is a tease because I will explain why coming up edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And from Camp Fickle on the campus of UW-Platteville, it is the Packers Hall of Famer and the color analyst for Badgers football. It is Mark Tauscher. Tauscher, good morning. How are the boys? How's the weather? How ready are you for another practice?
Well, I'll say this. No need for a quarter zip or a sweatshirt today. It's by no means hot, but it's sunny. It's gorgeous, but it's hotter than I'd like. I guess if that's, again, I'm soft as Twinkie filling, but it's a gorgeous, like if you're just here, it could not be better. It's a gorgeous day here in Platteville.
Great. So no one has given you any hard time whatsoever?
No. I've got a couple of side looks like, oh, you're here again, and thought it's getting a little warm. I thought maybe you'd call it, which I don't fully appreciate, but probably some validity to it. So yeah, I'm here again, and full padded, good work day ahead for the boys here down at Platteville.
Oh, you're in pads too, just standing and watching? That's wild.
I am not, but I went long sleeve with a short sleeve, which probably not a great look. Yeah, it's not my best, but I didn't pack appropriately, as tends to happen a lot when I go on one-day trips. So here I go.
Well, grab yourself a towel. And what do they call it? The executive workout? Is that what they called it yesterday?
Sauna and, like some fake bench and stuff like that. That's about where I'm at, for sure.
So much for Squat Fest. It's Soft Fest. So you went out for ice cream with LePay last night?
So we had a bunch of stuff we were doing yesterday with the team, and so we went and grabbed dinner. And in Platteville, we grabbed a nice sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
At a little brewery, had a nice time, and then, I actually thought we'd just go back to the hotel, maybe sit around, BS, and call it a night. But Matt saw a little ice cream shop right down the street in downtown Platteville. So we popped over there, and there's nobody in there. Very quaint. And I just thought it was crazy. So, yeah, if you go on vacations and you go get gelato or whatever it is, I think you're always looking for something different and unique. There's cookies and cream, there's cookie dough, there's raspberry cheesecake, whatever it might be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're sitting there, and they must have had some issues with people taking too many samples, because they said there is a sign right on the little glass in front of the ice cream, one sample only, which sucks, because if you're going to commit to a big scoop and pay $5-6 a scoop, you want to make sure you like what you're getting. So I tried this Ferrero Rocher, which is a real fancy chocolate.
Rocher,
that sounds very fancy.
With like some hazeltine nuttage, if that makes sense. And then there was this one, I missed it, so I tried that. So I had kind of used my one scoop rule. So there was another one that it was called like a Gasparetto, which is like a raspberry stuffed cookie ice cream, which I love. For all you guys that listen, I love raspberries. I think they're great.
Is this the bougiest ice cream shop on the planet?
Oh, hold up. Not really. That was my point. There's all kinds of other like gelato and sorbets and things of that nature. But yeah, there was some nice like pistachio, and there was some stuff. So I go and I get, I split it. I go Ferrero Rocher and I go with this Gasparetto. But I didn't.
That's what it's called.
But I did not try the Gasparetto. I just took the guy's word
Oh,
for
no.
it. No, it was fine. More banana-y than I like. I'm not a big. Hold on. I like the bananas with like a banana cream pie, but I'm not a big banana ice cream guy. It's just not my jam.
Bananas Foster.
So I go with that, and Matt graciously picked up the dinner check, so I picked up the ice cream.
Oh, thank you for your service.
Yeah. So I go, and he doesn't even sample anything. He just says, "Give me the chocolate." And I'm thinking to myself, what in the world is that? It could not be more mundane, blasé. Like, what are you doing? You're not at like Dairy Queen, or you're at a. Nothing against. I love blizzards. I mean, obviously, I love blizzards.
Good.
So I looked at him like, "Are you serious that you're gonna get that without even trying anything?" And he said, "I like what I like."
Yeah. You tell him.
So that was our night down here in Platteville.
Wow. That's quite a story.
That's ridiculous.
I agree, Jesse. I did not think. I thought if you're going to go do this, and by the way, this might surprise you. I was not leading the charge on getting ice cream. Matt did. I was content. You had to go right to head back to the hotel. You had to go left like a block and a half, and he said, "Let's go get ice cream." I'm like, "All right, well, you're the Pumbaa of this group. All right, let's go." So we went. And then he just gets like a normal old regular scoop of chocolate ice cream. That's where we're at.
What makes you think you're qualified to judge his ice cream selections?
I just don't think you go. Like, who goes to a sorbet gelato joint? If it's vanilla bean, okay. But if it's just regular,
come on, vanilla bean is so much more.
You're losing me.
You're losing me.
No, if you're going to do that, vanilla bean is much more upscale than a vanilla. Correct? Am I right?
No,
it's the
much
same
more
so
is
you
not.
Think, well, first
it's got
off,
little black dots in it.
I do not like chocolate ice cream. I don't like chocolate ice cream if I'm going and getting a mixer or a shake. Like
That's coloring your opinion.
I like vanilla when it comes to the
as your
base of any of
base.
these.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm with you. Sure.
So the whole thing just kind of was unsettling to me, and maybe I'm crazy to say that, but that's how I felt.
You're just very judgy. Very judgy.
For sure. When it comes to dairy, I'm very judgy.
So with LePay paying for dinner, you did not get a steak Because that's what I would have done had I been.
I did not. I got just a plain old sandwich, and it was plain and old and good.
Okay, fair enough. So what's on the docket for today? You're coming back after practice?
I'm coming home. Yeah,
What's your schedule?
We're going to watch this. This practice, I think, is going to be a long one. It's going to go probably right up until noon again, and then going to hang around here for a little bit and then head home. So going to get my coverage in, and then the boys are, I think, back in town as this song is playing.
Boys are back in town.
I believe they're here through Monday, so I don't know if I'm going to get back down here. But a lot of quick horns. So here we go.
Jason, would you go to your favorite pizza place and just get a cheese pizza?
I don't like a lot of cheese on my pizza to begin with, so no. But you just had a text up from Ian. And while Tausch claims that he's not disappointed with his choice, you don't complain about the sample limits, and you don't talk about it being too banana-y or whatever it was, and then say, but it was fine. Because, as Ian points out, you can't be disappointed when you just order what you know you like. And that's what Matt did. He was more satisfied with his ice cream than you were with yours, correct?
Yeah, that's fair. Yep.
Okay. Good. Glad we're on the same page. The Packers had a transaction yesterday.
Okay.
I know that you are a big fan of rooting for underdogs. So they added a defensive lineman. They're a little bit short on the defensive line right now. They've had a few different guys go down with injuries, so they sign a defensive tackle or defensive end, and this guy ranks among my top 5 favorite transactions in Packers history.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to count them. I'm going to count them down the way you do it usually, from 1 to 5 instead of 5 to 1. Number 1 is the selection of Aaron Rodgers. Okay, that's number 1.
Okay.
Because as you watched Rodgers drop like a rock, and you knew that they had Brett Favre, would Ted Thompson have the guts to make the pick? He did, and the rest was history. Number 2, the signing of Charles Woodson, which I know you did not particularly like during the first year or so based on his commitment to the team. Fair?
First 3 or 4 months, yes, for sure.
Number 3, the signing of Julius Peppers. The way that it happened, and none of the scoopists, the newsbreakers, suddenly you wake up one Saturday morning and there's a picture of Julius Peppers on social media inside Lambeau Field. Number 4, the drafting of Mark Tauscher. I just didn't want you to get a big head and put you higher on the list. But in 2000, adding the Badgers offensive lineman, who I became his unofficial biographer and now his radio co-host. And finally, yesterday's move, the signing of Zack Morton, former Lions defensive end Zack Morton. Why do you think this is such a big signing for me? And I may be engaging in a little bit of exaggeration, but you know why it's number 5 all time?
Don Morton's kid?
No, not Don Morton's kid. Good guess, though.
Don Morton's grandkid?
No, not that either.
Don Morton's uncle. His kid.
Is there any relation to Don Morton?
There's no relation to Don Morton, the former Badgers
Morton's
head coach.
Steakhouse.
Yes, free steaks for everybody.
With great sorbet.
Zack Morton is represented by Sean Stellato. Sean Stellato is Tommy DeVito's agent. So Tommy DeVito's agent, perhaps clad in his favorite outfit that we enjoyed so much when he was on the sideline of that Packers game, he could be at practice today for all I know.
Heck yeah!
Yeah! Welcome, Sean, and welcome Zack Morton to the roster. I don't know how long it'll last, but we're happy to have you.
So you're telling me that's your fifth favorite
of course
signing?
not.
Well, you just said it. Can the guy play? Can the guy play?
You can't take the facetiousness there. You don't get it at all.
Oh no, I thought you were being serious.
Clearly, but I'm excited for Sean. I hope that Zack Morton makes the team, and I want to meet him. I want to get him on the show. So I'm excited that he now has a client that is on the Packers roster. We will see if Tommy DeVito becomes available down the road, and maybe he'll be on the Packers roster as a number 3 quarterback someday. He's still young, and the Packers like young players. Tausch, tell us a little bit about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin so we can stay semi on the clock leading into our time with Bryan Bulaga.
Well, how do you go into an ice cream shop? Do you go and ask for
through the window
3 scoops? Well, how do you say welcome to your guests? Well,
only one sample.
Say it with a new entry door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You can say it with color. You can say it blue. What is this? Blue and orange, the home of the Pioneers. The possibilities are endless thanks to Pella's custom colors. Say it with class. Pella's premium doors stand out due to their distinguished craftsmanship. And you say it with a great deal. Get 0% interest for up to 3 years, no money and no money down, and equal payments across the board. Hurry up, though. This offer does end in August 31st of 2024. Certain restrictions do apply. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
Having done a show or two from a practice sideline, how do those reads go for you under those circumstances, would you say?
I thought they're all right. I mean, obviously not as smooth as I thought.
Not easy. Not easy to do.
Yeah, but you got to be a pro.
Well, that's what you are.
The music stops as I get done reading. There we go. We're back.
I don't know why I'm yelling. There's no music playing. More with Tausch live from Badgers practice at Platteville. Matt LaFleur spent a little time with our friend Kay Adams yesterday. We'll hear what he had to say about the Packers and their opportunity this season. We'll hear that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
This is Greeny.
Watching the gymnastics and watching the track and field and watching, some of the other more obscure disciplines that you never otherwise see. They work just as hard all the time. They do it without any of the fanfare, without any of the fame and notoriety. And they have this one moment. And that is what I get myself excited about when I watch the Olympics.
Greeny, weekdays noon to 2 on 100.5 ESPN.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, I'm Jeff Lettering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 3 years with no money down and equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See 31/2024.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, featuring one extra special dive bar that will have $2 High Lifes on special for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin like Red Mouse, the Silver Eagle, Caribou Tavern, and the Shack Bar and Grill.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Nice, Jesse. Well done. The boys are back in town. And Tausch is back on the sideline at Badgers practice. Before we get to Matt LaFleur and what he had to say yesterday to Kay Adams, Tausch, what are you seeing from our guys this morning?
Well, a little competitive, fourth down inside the 10 to win the game. Defense got the better of him on the first three, but a little scamper by Locke for a tutter to win it at the end. So it's kind of interesting. I usually, and I don't know what they do up at Packers camp when they go super competitive, but typically you do that at the end of practices. And this, they just got done with Rocky Balboa warm-up, and they jump right into just a quick two for the ones, two for the twos in highly competitive spot. I think just to kind of get the intensity of practice going right away, which we didn't usually do that. It was more middle of practice. So kind of an interesting twist.
Wait, they go Rocky IV training montage at every practice?
Well, I've been to the last 2 days and a lot of Rocky IV, which I'm all on board with. I am all on board with, as you know. I couldn't be a bigger fan of a Rocky movie than Rocky IV. It is the GOAT of Rocky movies, in my opinion.
Back on the streets. I guess that's Rocky III, technically. All right, Tausch is at Badgers practice. The Packers will start practice at 10:30. But after practice yesterday, Matt LaFleur sat down with Kay Adams. Where does her show? Is it just on social media?
FanDuel TV is where that lives.
They don't have a TV network, though, do they?
They do, yeah. It's like
Peacock.
I think it's only online.
I mean, it's not a channel. It's
then it's not on TV, bro.
But it's not just on social media. It's like,
what is it on?
It's a platform. It's not on. They don't. There's not like a.
It's on a website
channel on your cable provider.
No, it's not on the cable provider.
It's not on NBC, CBS.
No, it's not on those.
So then it's not on TV.
Correct. Yeah, it's not a television program. Correct. It's kind of like us.
Okay. So it's on quick question, and then we'll get to what Matt LaFleur said to Kay Adams. And again, we're on YouTube. I get it. There's lots of different ways to consume video. I understand that. But when Sydney streams a show on our living room TV on, say, Netflix or Disney or Amazon Prime, when she exits out of that app, it goes into this group of channels that are embedded in our TV. One of them is the Bob Ross channel, where and that's the one I have demanded.
Is that the painter?
That's the painter, yes. And so I have requested that be the channel that's always going to come up when she finishes streaming something. You're telling me that FanDuel has like a Bob Ross channel where you can't get it on real TV, but you get it on like this embedded in your TV channels? Is that what you're telling me? Don't know. Why am I?
He has no idea. Why are you even?
No, I'm trying to figure out how to describe. It's like its own app, like the Paramount Plus app, the Peacock app, the FanDuel
well, if you
TV
put it in
can
with
do
Peacock,
its own thing.
we might as well skip the rest of the segment.
No, I like Kay. I think Kay does a great job.
She does. She's very good. And so she interviewed Matt LaFleur yesterday after practice, and Goody had said to Adam Schefter that he doesn't believe in championship windows. I disagree with that, and I think maybe Matt LaFleur does too. Give a listen.
I think if you relax for 1 second, people are passing you by, and you got to work each and every day to be your best. And, that's the thing that you got to be most mindful of, I think, because it's easy to get consumed and caught up in the day-to-day and just not having the end goal in mind. But, you have got to work every day to improve because there's somebody else out there that's doing that.
Jesse, I feel like you oversold this as a quality. That sounded like a lot of words to me. What did I miss there?
He's saying the window is now. It's part of a larger conversation.
No, that's not what he's saying.
There's urgency that needs to be approached with right now to win now. That's what he's saying.
That was crap.
That's how it's framed that way in the Up and Adams tweet. One word to define Packers camp: urgency. Head coach Matt LaFleur knows the window is now.
So you didn't watch. Just wait a second.
But you didn't actually listen to what he said.
You never listened to the video.
I had it ready. I listened to it.
But in fairness, Jason asked for it, right? Like this is a Jason Wilde thing.
No, but I didn't listen to it in advance. I'm trusting the producer.
Why would you do that?
Because of the way Kay Adams framed it in her tweet.
So
nowhere does he say in there that the championship window is now.
Guys,
he never says anything even close to that.
There have been times where obviously Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst have not been on the same page. That's been in the Rodgers era. I don't know if they've ever been more in sync with what they're doing now because they've had success. Because what they did and how they pulled off the Jordan Love transition has worked beautifully. I think Matt LaFleur was very skeptical last year of what they had offensively, what they could actually do.
Mm-hmm.
And when the success came, all of a sudden that relationship's better. I saw still pictures of these guys yucking it up, having a great time because they know that they got a good football team and they've built it. But as far as this championship window, you guys made it out like Matt LaFleur was so much different than Goody. It's not. What he's saying there is we are ready to win now, and we're going to be ready for a long time. But if we don't focus and we don't play with urgency, we're not going to be any good either. So this whole construct of how you set this up, Jason, and then when Jesse played it, none of that makes any sense at all.
No,
it's almost as bad. This is almost as bad as Big Cat yesterday trying to say that Dontavian Wick should get traded. That's as bad as that was right there.
Here is how it was presented to me, trusting my producer who is now going to be run over by the bus. One day after we heard Goody say he doesn't believe in championship windows on the Adam Schefter podcast, Matt LaFleur said on Up and Adams with Kay Adams that there is a sense of urgency for the Packers to win while they know they can.
That's what he's saying.
It's not what he's saying.
There's urgency. You got to get it done now. There's always other people coming.
No.
You don't know if you're going to get another bite at the apple. You got to win now. All that stuff.
Take the L. You didn't watch the video. You just took the framing of the tweets.
I watched the video.
You know what? I got an idea. Let's get to Bulaga. I'm going to tell you guys about Fortria because we're all looking for a little extra spending cash. Stock market's been whoop, whoop, whoop. So if you're looking for that extra cash, you want to get down to Brazil. You want to get out to USC to watch the Badgers play. You want to get to Greenbrier, which I do, to watch the Hoops team. Fortria Clinical Trials has a ton of different studies that will help you. Healthy adults, ages 18 to 60, BMI 18 to 32. study 1, stay 14 nights, 11 follow-ups, and wow, I still have to make sure I'm right with this number. $13,006. 13,000,006 provided for your time and participation, plus another $400 if you refer a friend. Head to FortreaClinicalTrials.com to get started. Again, that's Fortrea, Fortrea, clinicaltrials.com.
I'm fascinated by the $6 at the end.
Well, that's $6 will...
Hey, 13,000.
Buy you some chocolate ice cream.
That gets you a half a scoop at the Platteville ice cream shop.
All right. Well, we have a sense of urgency to get to Bulaga, but we have to do a commercial break first.
What's that window, Jesse, to get to Bryan? Is it closed?
We got 4 minutes.
Unbelievable. That was brutal.
Bryan Bulaga joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
The area's best high school sports coverage returns this season.
Direct snap, takes it himself, crossing the goal line. Touchdown Wildcats.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania returns August 16th on 100.5 ESPN.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Derek Jeter for American Family Insurance.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they'll help protect your family's dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, we have liftoff, or a budding prima ballerina, you can count on an American Family Insurance agent to help you dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. I'm with James Imaging Systems customer Jennifer Wilger, purchasing manager with Baker Manufacturing.
We definitely consider them a partner.
Because?
I think the biggest thing is their service is just really top-notch. Their staff is very kind, very helpful. They go above and beyond.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology partner. And that has its benefits, right, Jennifer?
Yes, it does. We don't have to be concerned that we're going to be shut down for any long period of time. We can just operate business as usual.
Jennifer, would you recommend document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems?
I would definitely refer them to James Imaging. They're an absolutely wonderful partner for us.
Have less than a wonderful partnership with your current document imaging company? Then switch to business technology from James Imaging Systems. It's easy to do. Call 608-221-3457. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
The countdown to game day is on.
You got playmakers around you, ready, excited to roll this fall.
Throws to the end zone, and it's caught. It's a Wisconsin touchdown.
Nobody covers the Badgers like 100.5 ESPN.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I've got some famous friends. Yeah, I do.
I can't decide if this song makes me smile because I like it, it's catchy, or because it means that Bryan Bulaga is on the show. I think it's both, because when I hear it now on the radio, you know what I think? Hey, Bryan Bulaga's coming on. He joins us now. The someday Packers Hall of Famer, for now just one of the all-time great offensive linemen in Packers history, soon to be replaced by Kadeem Telfort or Caleb Jones. It is Bryan Bulaga. Bryan, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How we doing?
Well, we're good. Tausch is at Badgers practice. Jesse's probably going to make some snarky joke about whether Iowa even bothers to practice offense or something like that.
You beat me to it. Dang it.
Exactly. See? I tried to inoculate or immunize you from that. What are you up to today? No farming today? No donkeys? No nothing?
No, not. I mean, we were in that Debbie storm and got a ton of rain. So we've kind of just been. The winds weren't too bad, but we just been cleaning up like branches and stuff everywhere. So that's really all we've been doing the last couple days. What ground is way too saturated to be doing anything right now. Don't want to track out the grass and everything like that. So, not too much. Not too much today.
Tausch, are you laughing about something Brian's saying, or are you talking to people on the sideline? What are you doing?
Hurricanes are hilarious.
I'm not laughing about Brian's hurricane. I'm laughing. LePay just went and got a vanilla ice cream cone. He went out of his comfort zone, so that's what I'm laughing about.
Okay. I can't see you, so it makes it harder to communicate.
No, I understand.
With you.
I tried to choke it back here a little bit because Blue's talking about real world stuff.
And you're laughing about ice cream.
Brian knows I'm not laughing. I was laughing about Iowa's offense, but I wasn't laughing about hurricane.
I thought you were laughing that Bulaga's dealing with a hurricane in Florida, and you're complaining that it's 82 and sunny in Platteville for you today.
It is a little warm. It's a little warmer than yesterday. Blue, I'm gonna get this thing off track here. What did you think when you heard the news yesterday that Jordan Love is going to play, and Wilde, helicopter dad that he is, Zack Tom's not. He doesn't like it. What did you think when you first heard that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, obviously, I think early indications of this offense that it's not going well in camp so far. Like they need to find something, and depending on who the Browns play defensively, if the Browns play some of their guys, it could be a great test. So we'll see.
Don't worry, Brian. I'm listening.
It's okay. I mean, that's all that's going on at the Badgers practice is just a bunch of horsing around. There's no real work getting done there. I mean, it's not like Iowa's camp where they're actually working. There's no sideline reporter. At Iowa's camp, Kirk's not having guys on the radio that are reporting. I mean, it just doesn't happen in Iowa City with Kirk.
That's because they don't want any of that news getting out is why they don't have any reporters.
Big Ten West champion. Just remember that. Just remember who's beating Wisconsin. Just remember who's beating Wisconsin. Let's all take a breath. Let's all take a breath here.
So, that's fair. I can't argue that. Punter was the MVP. But So, Brian,
hey, he's really good.
He is a great punter. There's no doubt about it. If Myles Garrett's playing and he's coming off a Telfort or whomever they're playing at right tackle, you have to think that, Steno and LaFleur are going to think seriously. Let's do 3 quick throws and get the hell out of here.
Good chance of that. Very good chance of that. Could be 2 runs and a quick slant and get them off. Now, if I had to take a guess, Myles Garrett probably won't play, but there are other good players on that defense. They do have a good rotation of defensive linemen on the Browns. Their defense is really good. So even if Myles Garrett doesn't play, the backup guys are very good. So it's going to be a good test for Green Bay's offense. So, I have no problem with them playing. My only concern with it is how bad the offense has been during camp. Are we going to see an absolute disaster out there, on Saturday, which I'm hoping it's not. But I think they need this. I think they need a little pressure. I think they need to go out there and try to get things working against a different style of defense, because obviously against our defense, which is, hey, hats off to our defense, it hasn't been going well.
So, Jason, would you agree? Brian and I are both coming at this. We're reading. We're taking in all the information. You're there. Is the offense just getting its, tail kicked? And is that something that you think is part of this plan, is we need to build some confidence? We're not executing at anywhere near the level we need to during camp.
Well, I'm going to just bypass the easy, they're not as bad as Iowa's offense joke. I'm going to move right past that and say that there have been the defense has been much better than the offense. There's no denying that. And I think it has now extended past the point where you would say, well, the defense is always ahead of the offense early in camp because, as you said yesterday, Tausch, one guy screws up and the whole thing can be messed up, right? And so it does take time. The offense has had its wins. A lot of wins in one-on-one, both in terms of pass protection and one-on-one passing routes. They've had success in the red zone. Grant Dubose had a really nice touchdown catch yesterday. We've talked a lot the last couple of days about Romeo Doubs and what he's been able to do in the red zone. They have had some success in 2-minute, but not a lot. So you put that all together, and they have had some, but it's been limited success. Now, here's my question for Brian. What the hell is the point of playing, guys, if you're going to do 3 quick get-the-ball-out plays and then get them out of there? Isn't that just the same as not playing them? Because here's what I want to know, Brian. One of the things that LaFleur emphasized to us yesterday, and I used it in my story in the State Journal, is that he says there's value to getting ready for a game. And I swear, and tell me if I'm imagining this, but I swear there were times when McCarthy dressed all of you guys, and then you guys went through warm-ups, and then none of you played. I'm not right. Didn't that happen once or twice? Right.
Yep.
So it helped me understand what the value is there, because even if it's only 3 plays, like you said, maybe there is value, and I'm just missing it.
Yeah, for me, I think it's good to go through a pregame warm up, your whole pregame routine, and take some snaps. Now, I guess that was maybe always the offensive lineman's inside joke was like, hey, 3 quick plays, let's get off the field, and it turned into a 10-play drive, and you're like, what the heck is going on here? And we would be telling Aaron, hey, dude, just get rid of the ball. Hand it off or get rid of the ball, and then he's running 7-step routes with Jordy down the field, and you're like, come on, what is going on here? But it's good to kind of get those pregame or preseason jitters out, because if you just go into week 1 without taking the field one time, there's some extra nerves there. So I always found it somewhat beneficial to go out there in the preseason and take some reps and some snaps, because you get that nervousness and you feel that energy. You understand that. You go through the first play without going through the first play in week 1 of the regular season. You get that first play out of the way in preseason. Now, it may be against the twos or whoever the defense has out there, but it's just to get the nerves out. So, listen, me and Tausch can crack the joke I hope it's just 3 quick throws and they're out of there. It'll be a little bit more than that, obviously, unless they go 3 and out. But it's just to get guys, just some reps to get the nerves out. And that's the way I looked at it. I remember LaFleur's first year, we didn't take any reps, and all of a sudden we go up to Baltimore, and we show up to the stadium, and LaFleur lets us know, like, hey, you guys are playing. And we looked at Stenham like, are we really playing? He's like, yeah, you guys are playing. Mm-hmm. And we were like, okay, well, I guess we got to get ready. So, go through warm-ups. And I remember the one Aaron played like a series at all. I think he played a series. And the O-line stayed out there for, I think, 2 quarters. And we were out there for like almost a whole half. And we were not expecting it, but it was really good for us. Like, it was a good thing to go out there and take those reps against Baltimore, had all their guys out there. Baltimore played all their starters. So it was a good thing for us to kind of work through it. And with the backup quarterback, that year, who was the backup quarterback in 19, Jason? Was it Tim Boyle?
So
was it Boyle?
In that opening, or in that game, the quarterbacks, so I don't know if I have to look up if Rodgers actually played and handed off, but the quarterbacks for that game that you're thinking of, Tim Boyle, Deshaun Kaiser, and Marcus Wilkins.
Okay, so it was Kaiser. Kaiser was the guy who took a lot of, I think Aaron played the first series and then he was done. And then it was Kaiser, I think. I'm pretty sure. Or maybe Aaron.
So they've got, I think what they might have done, and I think this goes to our point that we were having earlier, I think they had him go through warm-ups and made everybody think he was going to play. And then he didn't. Because here's what's amazing. His numbers dropped, Rodgers did, throughout his time with McCarthy, right? He did not play a single preseason snap under LaFleur. 19, 21, 22, never played a snap. In 20, you guys obviously, well, you were with the Chargers, but we had the pandemic. We didn't have preseason. But compare that to what Love did last year, and then now I'm curious what you think when I give you these numbers, what you think we should expect this year. Because Love basically said in his locker yesterday that the hope is that they play well enough that they don't have to play in the last 2 games, which is really weird because I would think you'd want to play closer to the game that counts as opposed to farther away from the game that counts. But last year in preseason, Jordan Love's snap counts were 12 at Cincinnati in the opener, 18 against New England, and 28 in the preseason finale against Seattle. But he had not accomplished anything yet either, like he did last year in the second half of the season. So now with that information, does that change any of your expectation at all?
To me, it would seem like they'd want to get him the most reps in preseason 3. And back in the old days when there was 4 preseason games, the big preseason game was always the 3rd game. That's when all the starters normally ended up playing the full half or whatever it may be. That was really the dress rehearsal was preseason 3. I'd be okay if Love played a series Saturday and then played another series, the second preseason game, that maybe did, 2 to 3 or a full quarter in the last preseason game to prime him for Brazil. That'd be the way I'd look at it. But obviously, the joint practices are going to have an impact on his preseason snaps, right? If the joint practices go really well for the offense, you may not see the starting offense out there at all. Maybe a couple guys here and there, maybe some of the O-linemen, but you won't see Love. So I think it's going to dictate a lot on how the offense does in the joint practices. Those are supposed to be, or at least the thought process is, those are supposed to be like the preseason game reps are in practice against the opposing team, because you're going ones versus ones. So that's supposed to replace that and kind of take away any risk of major injury because there's no tackling, no things like that, but you're getting those reps against the ones. So I think it all just depends on how they do in joint practice. And if the joint practices go well for the offense, maybe we don't see Jordan Love that much. But since practice has gone, maybe I got to take back that it's gone really bad. Maybe because it hasn't gone.
No, you're not. You may have been a little bit too far down the road on how bad it's been, but not. No, I think it was fair. They have not. They've done more push-ups than the defense by tenfold. I think Jason, it's 10-1.
I would love for you to ask LaFleur what's through. So you're through 2 weeks, right? That's about where we're at. 2 and some change. What grade are you giving the offense at this point? What are you giving? What do you think LaFleur says?
Yeah, I think it's probably a C minus.
Ooh.
I mean, based on what you told me how family night went, if we had a family night like that with McCarthy or with LaFleur year one,
right,
we would be getting reamed. We would be getting chewed out in the meeting rooms the next day or the following day, saying how bad this is. You guys are getting more work. We're not backing off you. You're getting more workload. I mean, we always looked at family night as an opportunity to kind of show the coaching staff, like, hey, we're primed and ready to go. Like, we've gone through a week and a half of camp. Yeah, we're humming. We're doing a good job. And if the family night performance is that bad, which, listen, you told me how it went. That doesn't sound good, because you could talk about the red zone that they scored a couple touchdowns. You got to get into the red zone. And if the 11-on-11 work, move the ball period was that bad, you're not getting into the red zone. So, like, that's a null and void, doesn't matter type of situation, right? Like, so to me, it sounds like the offense and the way LaFleur and probably Steno are thinking about this, they need to get work. They need to get work against opposing defenses. And that's probably going to be in at least preseason one until the joint practices roll along. At least would be my expectation.
Yeah, and the 2-minute drill going 4 and out. Like, I don't know. As long as I've done this, I've seen hundreds. Right, Tausch? I mean, I've seen hundreds and hundreds of practice 2-minute drills. I would say 5% max out of those hundreds and hundreds has the offense gone 4 and out. Like, they always pick up at least one first down, even if it's with a little help from the officials.
Yeah, got to get a first down. I mean, get a first down. You need 10 yards. Get the drive going. Like, and Tausch knows this really well. The most important play in a 2-minute drive is the first play.
Yeah.
You got to get going. You have to get a completion. You have to get guys, the defense, backing up. You have to get that tempo going. And if you can't even complete a ball in the first 2 downs, that's bad news in a 2-minute drill. Like, it's just it's not good.
So, like, playing soft coverage, if you get that rolling, it's kind of a nudge. It nudges you moving forward, and you don't. And I'm actually surprised when that happens. Usually, you reset. Just
run
say,
it back.
All right, you lost. Because especially an offensive coach, you don't want that taste in your mouth. So I do wonder, and I guess it's not fair on my count. I thought the defense has been winning. I didn't realize offensively, maybe it is Matt LaFleur and the staff just don't feel like this group is playing nearly where they need to be. And that's why they're throwing them out there this first week, because I would think you'd see some work in week 2, week 3, and then kind of dial it back, and you start pulling and prepping for heading down to Brazil.
All right, Brian, last thing on playing time, then we'll take a break, and then I want to get to tackle talk because we've spent some time a little bit talking about swing tackle. I want to get to Zack Tom, who finally did some teamwork and admitted he was rusty, but also made sure that he went against Rashawn Gary in his first rep. So he wants to obviously get back in the swing of things. You were on the field in Pittsburgh on August 23rd, 2015, when Jordy Nelson tore his ACL. You guys had been a whisker away from a Super Bowl the previous year, and I still believe that if Jordy doesn't get hurt, that 15 team, which still made the playoffs, is a Super Bowl contender again. And instead, you guys were never the same after that. How much, I understand it's unlikely, but having experienced it yourself, that's where my helicopter-y beat writer thing comes from. I remember being in a cab, being worried I wasn't going to get to the stadium before kickoff because I'd flown in day of the game. And then as soon as he went down and then we started to hear how bad it was, I thought, okay, they're screwed. And over a game that doesn't count. So this is all great. We got to get the offense going, everything else. But if that happens to a Romeo Doubs or to a Josh Jacobs or, heaven forbid, a Jordan Love, that's why I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. And no one will ever convince me otherwise because I was there that day.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that was a very dark day. I remember that very vividly. When you lose a guy like that, it just sucks the life out of a team, offense and defense, because you know the integral part that guy's going to play in the upcoming season. I think, listen, I mean, you're right. There's no other way to look around that the juice is not worth the squeeze. But listen, if the offense is really not performing the way you want it to, or it's not looking the way you want to, you got to find a way to get them out of the funk, right?
That's fair.
And if that means giving them some reps in a preseason game, I'm all for it. But you have to balance who's taking those reps, how many reps, what routes you're running them in. Like, it's got to be scripted. Everything that you do in preseason, those plays that they run, I get it, you can't script everything, but it has to be really scripted to manage what guys are doing. Now, obviously, football is very unpredictable. Things can happen in the blink of an eye. I get it. But you have to manage the plays you're going to run. And I think that's, if you go into it knowing you're going to play starters, you have to kind of understand that, hey, let's not try to run routes that put guys in, like you said the other day in the family night with Watson, in danger of getting blown up or things like that. Let's make these very basic, simple day one plays and just get guys out there to feel comfortable. So that's the only way that I see this going for them. Because you're right. You lose a Dobbs or you lose a Jacobs. Like, it impacts your offense so much that it's hard to recover from. So you have to walk that line, and it's a tough line to walk, and every coach has to deal with it. But if the offense was doing what they were supposed to be doing through camp and performing the way they should have, this wouldn't even really be a discussion, most likely. No. Right? There's a good chance that Love wouldn't even be considered to be thrown out there, and maybe a couple of the starters would take a series and they'd be done. But that's not the scenario they're in right now, unfortunately.
We need to get to the offensive line because Matt LaFleur is at the podium. He is talking about how Zack Tom looked and that one of their starters, according to the depth chart, suffered a shoulder injury in yesterday's practice. We'll tell you who that is and get to that. More with Bryan Bulaga next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. Well, you know I've loved Pizza Hut for a long time, going back to when I was a kid, growing up participating in their legendary Book It program. And now Pizza Hut is cooking up something new. Introducing Pizza Hut's new Tavern-style pizza. It's an upgrade to their classic crispy thin crust. It's cut into 16 snackable squares and loaded to the edge with bold, flavorful toppings. Enjoy 4 new recipes for Pizza Hut's Tavern-style pizza. Double pepperoni, pesto margarita, spicy chicken sausage, and the ultimate. For a limited time, get a large, specialty Tavern-style pizza from Pizza Hut for just $12. Go thinner, go crispier, and go bolder. Go get the new Tavern-style pizza only from Pizza Hut.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Hunter Vaughn. 6th-year running back Chez Mellusi has been named to the Doak Walker Award watch list. The award honors the nation's top running back. Mellusi is in his 4th season with Wisconsin. Last year, he had 307 yards and 4 touchdowns before an injury against Purdue ended his season early. Chez joins Nathaniel Vakos, Hunter Wooler, and Carson Pfeiffer as Badgers to earn preseason award watchlist honors. Wisconsin kicks off their season Friday, August 30th as they host Western Michigan.
Bundle a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens for as low as $188 per month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
The little one just took her first steps. Her stride? Wobbly.
Oh my gosh,
Her parents?
Oh boy, here we go.
Watch out, watch out.
But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. So while you're monitoring and protecting her every move, you can do the same for your credit score, too. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we commit to full transparency in everything we do. Because we're a fiduciary, we strive for the highest industry standards and honor our ethical duty to put your best interests first. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape, creating a personalized wealth management experience. Care, competence, and clarity isn't just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of. But back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here in this big city we're in. But when I go back home,
we roll on with Bryan Bulaga, who is not at Iowa's practice, and Mark Tauscher, who is at Wisconsin's practice. The Packers will start practicing in about a half hour, but Matt LaFleur was just at the podium. Here are two tidbits, some good news, some not so good news. Here's the good news. Matt LaFleur on Zack Tom per Wes Hodkiewicz via Twitter. He looked better than I would have expected, missing that much time. He was moving people off the line of scrimmage, both in the run and the pass game, as Zack Tom takes part in his first 11-on-11 work. And he also went up against Rashawn Gary and won in one-on-one pass blocking, pass rush, which both of you have explained to me is advantage defense. Maybe you guys are just making excuses for your records. I don't know. But here's the bad news. Now, I preface this by saying that Matt LaFleur says it's nothing long-term. But per Rob Domofsky, Matt LaFleur said first-round pick Jordan Morgan sustained a shoulder injury in yesterday's practice. It's nothing long-term per LaFleur, but we'll keep him out a week or so. Means he won't play in Saturday's preseason opener, but at this point, week one is not in jeopardy. I will put this to the two guys that have played the offensive line. I think you both have had shoulder injuries along the way. Brian, we'll start with you, and then we'll get to old T. Your reaction, I could see your face. I just have a picture of Tausch. I saw your face, and it was not good.
Yeah, definitely not good, especially if he was kind of winning that job, right? I mean, I think you look at the depth chart, and to sustain a shoulder injury, I mean, listen, it's one of those things. We don't know the extent of the shoulder injury. We don't know what it is. Did it sublux? Did it pop in, pop out? Like, you don't know what it is. Normally when you miss time with a shoulder injury, it's probably some type of subluxation of it. I mean, I had it in college, and I mean, it just depends on what it is. But it's one of those things that can bother you throughout a year, and you can randomly miss time with it. It could dislocate, come back. Like, it's just a tough injury. And especially because we don't know the extent of it, we never will unless Jordan Morgan gives details on it. It presents an opportunity for Sean Rhyan to try to step back in the fray and perform better and win the job outright. So I'm not saying it's a glass half full type thing, but it's it's an unfortunate deal for the rookie, right? And it goes right back to what we were talking about, Jason, a while ago on the program with Homer, that the depth of this team on the offensive line is not great. There's not great depth in that group. So you remove a starter potentially, right, since he was winning the job, and you put in Sean Rhyan, who everyone thought was going to be the starter. All right, so now you have your sixth man now in. He's playing. So now who is the new sixth man? Who is the guy that is now – is it Royce Newman? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a little scary to me, to be honest with you, if I'm being really honest. But then it even goes further than that, which was what we were gonna talk about a little bit later on in this segment. Now, who is really the swing tackle? If he's out, Dillard hasn't been performing well. The other two guys we don't really know much about. Not only who's the sixth man, who's the swing tackle? Because I think everyone's thought would be, okay, Jordan Morgan may be starting at right guard, but we know he's a natural tackle. He can play tackle. If anything were to happen, he could fill in there. Well, with him out and now Sean Rhyan in, now we got to find a sixth man, and we have to find a true swing tackle, which to me is an issue. That's a problem. That was something that we all talked about for a while, and now in camp it happens. You hate camp injuries, but they happen. And now here we are going into preseason one. We're down a starter. Sean Ryan's in, and now where's the depth? And that's where I'm concerned with it.
Tausch, like Brian said, we don't know what the injury is while John Bon Jovi sings in the background at practice. But what is your concern of, even if it's minor, which is the way Matt LaFleur is painting it, at least for now, and where do you stand on this depth chart issue in terms of largely unproven depth? I mean, Andre Dillard has not had a great camp, and I find myself thinking they can't afford to just write him off based on where they stand right now.
Well, and there's other players that are going to be, available, but I think Brian's, point on depth, and when you start chipping away, that's the thing. You have this idea of who your six are, and then, okay, well, we'll slide Elton Jenkins out to left tackle. If something happens, Sean Rhyan will come in. Well, with Jordan Morgan, he's still developing. This isn't like he was locked up and he was going to be the number one guard.
Right.
He has we talked all show yesterday, and he never played guard before in his life. And Brian, last week on our show, you mentioned how difficult that was and that this wasn't a fit for you. He's probably in that same boat trying to figure this out. And he wants to be a left tackle. Now you're taking all these reps away, all this opportunity. So I think this has a chance to really make a huge shift as far as what this offensive staff decides to do, because the show must go on. It can't just be, well, we're going to wait till Jordan gets back. Well, now we're not going to do this. That's not how the NFL works. And Sean Rhyan has another opportunity to kind of grab hold of that right guard spot, and then you let Jordan Morgan do you let him become that swing guy? They obviously want to play him. They feel like he has earned the opportunity, at least in the first preseason game, to play. And when you're not able to get out there and play, there's a setback. Then how is he going to react, not only physically to whatever this shoulder injury is, mentally? I just had 10 days off. Can I regroup? Is that going to be fast enough to prove that I deserve this spot? There's all of these variables now that come into play, and coaches don't like variables. Coaches like certainty. And that's where if Sean Rhyan can come in here, play good against Cleveland, play well against Denver, I think you're going to have a really hard time if Jordan Morgan comes back in 10 days saying, all right, well, here we go, because that Philadelphia game ain't getting farther away. It's getting closer, and coaches want to know what the heck they got when they head down to Brazil.
And is that because, and I'll ask you both this, is that because you have a guy playing a position he's never played before? Like Brian, I don't know how many reps it would have taken for you at guard to become a great guard, but certainly certainly you didn't get enough before they gave up the ghost on that.
Oh, snap.
There wouldn't have been enough. You could have gave me all the reps, and it wouldn't have helped. I'll just put it that way. You could have given me every rep, and I would have maybe turned into like a C- guard, which is just not good enough. So, like,
but that's why he needs the work, right? Like, that's why missing these days, even if it's not a major injury, missing all these reps and missing playing guard in a preseason game, or maybe both of the first 2 preseason games, that's why this is such a setback, and why Tausch's point about Sean Rhyan is a really good one, right?
100%. It's like, I know people may think we're blowing it out of proportion, but for a rookie that was inserted into a starting spot in a position he's never played, now to miss a lot of time and potentially game reps and then joint practice reps is a big deal. It really is. Like, this is how you find out if he's going to be ready to play week 1 in Brazil, by having him going against other opponents, not your own team, but other opponents in a stadium type environment, in a ramped up energy type environment, and see how he does, and see if he can adjust and learn on the fly and play well. So, and they know what they have in Sean Rhyan, right? They saw him do it last year. So, like, Tausch is right. They want certainty. They know for sure they can put Sean Rhyan out there. He's done it. He's shown that he can do it. Obviously, in camp up to this point, they think whether it's Sean Rhyan hasn't been performing well enough, or they really want to get the rookie on the field, whatever it is, he hasn't fit that mold of what they're looking for right now to be a starter. But now he gets that opportunity, and if he can obviously stay healthy is number one. That's why we're in this situation, is health. But if he could stay healthy and perform the way he did towards the end of last year, Jordan Morgan could potentially lose out over a 10 or 14-day injury, and that's life in the NFL, man. That's right. Like why you always said about Tausch. Tausch didn't want to miss any snaps. Yeah, it may not be because he didn't feel like he wouldn't be ready, but he understood, which I did as well, like, someone can come take your job at any time.
Don't open the door.
And, yeah, even if that wasn't ever going to be a possibility, if you don't play that way or have that mentality that, like, if I miss time, someone could take my job, then the NFL isn't for you, because that's got to be the mentality, is that I need to be available because I don't want my job taken. And I'm not saying it's a knock on Jordan Morgan. Listen, you get hurt. There's some things you can't control in the NFL. But the reality is, like Tausch said, the NFL waits on nobody. The show has to move on. And if Sean Rhyan comes in and plays well, that's life. That's the way it goes, man. And you just have to live with it and move on. And he'll get his opportunity at some point, and hopefully he recovers well. It's not that serious, as LaFleur's saying, but whenever coaches say, I don't see this as a long-term thing right now, I don't know what that even means, because like you've been in the locker room with these situations when you don't think it's that bad, and then the guy returns the play and it's not right. Like there's so many variables in it. You just hope it's not bad. That's really the biggest thing, is you hope it's nothing major. But Tausch said it. The show has to roll on, man. It has to. And with the expectation this offense and this team has, you got to get this thing right. And you got to figure out a way to get your guys on the field and performing at a high level. And that's just the way it goes. And I hope Sean Rhyan makes the most of it. I really do. Yep. Here's an open door. You got to step through it, and you got to make the most out of it.
Hey, All right, Brian, our show has to go on, too.
Yeah, Blue, quick question before we let you go. What do you think it is about Sean Rhyan? Because, I understand that you want competition, but I thought he played well. It took a long time for him to kind of chip away. Do you think they just don't like how he plays? Or why do you think he hasn't solidified himself? And, give Rashid a ton of credit for locking that spot up and saying, if you want to play, you ain't playing here, to Jordan Morgan. What do you think it is about Sean Rhyan?
I mean, the only thing I can think of is inconsistent play or mental errors on the field. Those are because we all saw him play last year, and I think everyone's in agreement. Yeah, everyone's in agreement that he did good things, and he was physical. He was a tone setter type player. He played well. So, and that's kind of what we talked about last year, why he couldn't crack the starting lineup until he did, was it had to be inconsistent play in practice and mental errors. So maybe that is kind of where he's at even in this training camp is it's kind of the same thing. He'll have good days and then bad days, or he'll make mental errors that cost things. And it like we said last week, the thing that drives coaches crazy, especially offensive line coaches, is mental errors. If you're not in the right place and you blow up a play, it drives them crazy. So that could be the only thing that I see, because like we saw the tape last year. Like that's the only thing that doesn't lie is what's put on tape. So it's got to be one of those two things, and that's just driving Steno and LaFleur and Butkus up the wall, and that's why the door got opened. So, because I don't know what else it would be.
All right, Brian, our show must go on. Tausch needs to go shake hands and kiss babies and talk to all of the Badgers folks after he tells us about Coors Light in a second. Dude, we appreciate your insights all the time. You and I can agree to disagree on my bubble wrapping Ted Thompson approach to preseason, but I do understand your point about them needing the work, especially the way the offense has gone. Thanks, buddy.
All right, guys, take care.
Tausch, before you go, tell us about your Coors Light love.
Oh, it's a beautiful day. You know what? After a hard practice watching or playing Coors Light. Man, you want to chill? Coors Light is it. Born in the Rocky Mountains in 1978, Coors Light is refreshing. It is crisp, and it's only 102 calories. That's why when I'm looking to chill, I'll grab myself a Coors Light brewed in Golden, Colorado.
All right. See, it's not easy doing a show from the sideline now, is it? Tausch will continue to spend some time with the Badgers. He'll rejoin us a little bit later. We will get to the top of the 10 o'clock hour around 10:17. Very consistent. On Wednesdays, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher. Summer is here, but if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street, and online at goodmansjewelers.com. The Milwaukee Brewers, 10-0 winners last night over the Atlanta Braves in the first of their 3-game set this week. The second game is tonight's 6:20 first pitch. Opening day starter Freddie Peralta on the mound for Milwaukee. Entering play today, the Brewers 6 games up on the St. Louis Cardinals, 7 games up on the Pittsburgh Pirates for the top spot in the National League Central Division standings. The Brewers also in close contention with the Dodgers and Phillies for the top record in the National League. Remember, the top 2 get first-round byes in the National League playoffs come October. Something to keep an eye on as the pennant chase continues. Brewers-Braves, 6:20 tonight. Meanwhile, the Packers back at practice this morning as they get set for preseason game number 1 out in Cleveland. Coming up over the weekend, head coach Matt LaFleur confirming a shoulder injury for rookie first-round draft pick Jordan Morgan. He will not play against the Cleveland Browns coming up this week. His status for the rest of the preseason remains questionable. Wilde and Tausch continues right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour, Wilde and Tausch. A little late. But, again, every minute with Bryan Bulaga is worth it. Now, I didn't realize that the doctor of football, as Homer calls him, was going to drop multiple subluxations when he was actually sounding like a real doctor there, not just a doctor of football as he was discussing shoulder injuries. Jesse, you said you delved into the YouTube comments against your better judgment because they're mean there. But what did you come across before we get to trivia?
I'll pull it over here, make sure I see it correctly. Jim in the YouTube comments, not Rutledge. Jim
on the south side
in the YouTube comments. The season is 17 games long. There's plenty of time in the early part of the season to work out the kinks, but at least work them out in games that matter. He also says Jordan Love there's been a debate going on. See, this is what happens with the YouTube commenters. They debate among themselves.
Lord of the Flies, sure.
Jim, in his response to one of the other fans saying he's too young and raw in relation to Jordan Love, and they just made him the highest paid quarterback in history. So you can't make the argument that he needs to play in the preseason because he's young and raw and inexperienced when they just gave him the biggest contract in NFL history. What say you to that, Jason?
Yeah, so there are competing forces here, right? And that's because of his unique status as a player who got big-time banco dollars, as old T would call them, despite a thin resume in terms of what he's proven. And again, we don't have to relitigate why he got the contract. He deserved the contract. That is the going rate for franchise quarterbacks. He played like a franchise quarterback last year. I still think there are some growing pains ahead. I don't think it's going to be constant clear sailing for him, but I think he's a very good player, and I think he will prove that. But you can argue that he needs those snaps, and all those guys around him who have only 1 to 2 years of NFL experience need those snaps with him too. So I get it. I get it. But I just remember, because at first, when Jordy went down in Pittsburgh, he was able to walk off under his own power. So you thought, okay, well, they're just being, as Mike McCarthy would say, we're just being smart with him. And that's probably what they were doing until then they got an MRI back and it showed a torn ACL. And then, look, I love James Jones as much as anybody, probably more than most. And he was terrific, and they were so lucky to be able to pick him up and add him to their wide receiver mix, like Don Beebe in '96. But they weren't the same team. Jordy Nelson had over 1,500 yards in 2014. Like, he was one of the best. He was a first-team All-Pro, I believe, that year. So I'm risk-averse. I'm soft. Call me whatever you want in both the YouTube comments and in the real world. I just don't think preseason snaps are worth it. And as we saw when they played in Winnipeg a few years ago, as we saw when they had a live tackling period on family night, there are guys on your team that you're willing to expose to those risks because they're not as vital to your success as some of the other guys are. But, man, Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, Christian Watson, I mean, these are players that are difference makers, and I just don't love the idea of absorbing even a 2% risk that they could suffer something major and miss time in a game that does not count. If they get hurt in the first game, fine. And it's a 17-game season. You don't want to lose games early in the year. But, my God, in 2021, when they didn't play anybody early in the year or in preseason, they got whooped 38-3 by the Saints. And Matt LaFleur said yesterday that factors into his thought process. And if that's the case, what did they do in 2021? They got blown out by an NFC team in the opener, and they still had the number 1 seed in the NFC. There's time to recover. They beat the Bears last year because they played guys in the preseason, but then they had a swoon later. The first game is not the end-all, be-all. It's one game. It counts the same as the other 16. All right, we need to get to trivia. Jesse, what's today's category, and what caller do you fancy?
It is Wisconsin Geography Wednesday, even though Tausch won't be here to experience
tough break for him.
We do have a perfect week going. Levi was perfect on Monday.
Yeah, not necessary.
The Jesse Nelson show yesterday, while you guys both stepped away for your respective practices, we were perfect. So still have a perfect week going. Caller 15, because if we go perfect, we'll go 15 for 15 on correct guesses.
Clever. Well, now we're guaranteed to not be perfect, so nice job. All right, caller 15. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 15 to play Wilde and Tausch Trivia. And hopefully, like our first two contestants this week, you'll be money. And whenever we're talking about money, at least for me, I'm talking about Associated Bank. Did my checkbook this morning. After Paul and the girls left on their trip, I was up really early to take them to the airport, so I got a bunch of things done around the house, starting with balancing the checkbook. And when it comes to Associated Bank, they've got overdraft protection for me. They've got early pay, so I have access to my direct deposit up to 2 days early. I don't have the Packers checking, but I'm not a fan. You may have heard. But you, if you're a Packers fan, can get Packers checking, get 10% off the Packers Pro Shop in-store and online. But one thing we all get from Associated Bank is great customer service, and they've got the awards to prove it. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. Caller 15 for trivia, 844-770-3776. We will play next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, I'm Jeff Levering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 3 years with no money down in equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. 3/31/2024.
Grab a Coke and grab some cash with a Coca-Cola Summer Cash Grab, only from Quick Trip. Play daily in your Quick Rewards app for a chance to win up to $250,000. Earn extra chances to enter by purchasing any qualified Coke, Monster Energy, Powerade, Body Armor, Smart Water, or Core Power Elite products with Quick Rewards. Summer just got a whole lot cooler with Quick Trip and Coca-Cola. No purchase necessary. See QuickTrip.com/sweepstakes for details.
Welcome to another episode of Analysis, man.
From Buck superstar Giannis.
And then I'm going to Chris at the time. What did coach mean? What do you...
And even Green Bay QB Jordan Love. There's only one call for these conversations.
I've never been in a Lambeau, and I have to, right? What is this Lambeau league?
Tune in to the Thanalysis Show, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Find it today on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere you get podcasts.
Stoughton Health, in collaboration with patient and family advisors, seeks to advance the healthcare experience at Stoughton Health by providing a forum for past patients and families to provide feedback on a variety of healthcare and other related topics. Advisors offer constructive feedback on their personal journey at Stoughton Health, helping to elevate the patient experience and increase satisfaction. Interested? Please call Amy at 608-873-2308.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar.
We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
'Cause I'm a hazard to myself. Don't let me get beat. I'm my own worst enemy. It's bad when you know yourself. So irritating. Don't wanna be my friend no more. I wanna be somebody else. Yeah. Don't let me get beat. I'm my own worst enemy.
All right, I've gotten a lot of messages from Jesse over the years for trivia. He usually uses all these different effects when there's a first-time contestant. A little disappointed in you, Jesse. This one's disappointing.
What?
Well, I sent you back a bunch of globes because... And I don't want to say that we're putting pressure on him because he put it on himself.
He definitely volunteered the information.
So our contestant today is Greg in Tosa. Greg, good morning. How are you?
Doing well, Jason. I definitely put the pressure on myself. I was just going to say that.
So tell everyone what you majored in at our alma mater, the University of Wisconsin-Madison. You were a...
Geography major.
Okay. Again,
he's qualified.
If it was, again, though, journalism major, Packers beat writer, I don't know if I was playing trivia and it was Packers trivia that I would volunteer that I cover the Packers, because when you get one wrong, it's going to be it's going to end a perfect week. So I'm trying to build up a little bit of immunity here. So then when you get all three right, it'll be a celebration. And then the disappointment will be gone. All right, here we go. Question number 1.
Perfect week.
You just had to do that, didn't you? Perfect week. Question number 1. If Tausch continues a tour of WIAC campuses and drives from Platteville to Whitewater, which direction is Tausch primarily traveling? Is he traveling east primarily? Is he traveling south primarily? Or no matter the direction, he isn't stopping before he gets there?
Tausch would definitely be traveling east primarily.
Okay, we've cleared the first hurdle.
7 in a row.
Question 2. Greg, the geography major. Question 2. Latitudinally, which of these Wisconsin cities is located further north than Platteville? Okay, which Wisconsin city is further north than Platteville? Is it Kenosha, Lake Geneva, or New Glarus?
Making me think on this one, but I believe it's New Glarus.
Ooh, boy, is it? It is 2 for 2.
Pretty close there, latitudinally.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I would have gotten it right. I think I would have. All right, question 3, Greg. And so far you have risen to the pressure of expectations that you put upon yourself, as opposed to being just Greg and Tosa or Greg at Ted's and Tosa or whatever it might have been. All right, question 3. In which of these counties is Platteville located? In which of these counties is Platteville located? And remember, Billie Jean King told us, pressure is a privilege. Is Platteville located in Iowa County, Grant County, or Greene County?
Platteville is located in the farthest southwest county of the state, which would be Grant County.
I love it.
Not even any drama there.
It's like Aaron Rodgers saying, run the table. And then he did. Look at you. Greg, you rose to the challenge. You kept the perfect week alive. Give us some. What exactly do you do with a geography major, one, other than teach geography? And two, what was your favorite part of majoring in geography? These are the two things that sprung to mind as I was asking questions.
So there are many things you can really do with the geography major. It's very interdisciplinary, I would say.
Like journalism.
Like I work, I work in GIS, Geographic Information Systems. So that's pretty much using a lot of computers and map making and whatnot. But
You're a
there are many ways you could use it. I mean, technically, yeah, you can say I'm a cartographer of sorts.
Thank you very much. I'm a word guy. All right. And what's your favorite aspect of your discipline that you studied? Was it Egypt, like Aaron Rodgers, or something else?
I guess the favorite part is looking at how populations have risen over the years. I'm just a big population guy, really.
I'm a big population
Greg,
guy.
the population guy. All right.
Change him in the text line
Who's
so we know it's him.
Who's got the most interesting population?
China.
I don't know. I always I pay attention to pretty much the largest city, fastest growing cities in Wisconsin. So, like Sun Prairie, for example, that's a faster growing one. Verona, you name it.
Nice.
I don't know why I'm fascinated by it, but I am.
All right. Well, we're fascinated by the fact you got all those and you got them all right easily. You kept the streak alive. Well done, Greg. Thanks for playing, and thanks for your loyalty to the show. We appreciate you.
All right. Thanks. Love you guys.
The official cartographer of Wilde and Tausch, that is Greg and Tosa, who got all three right. He's got 4 entries. All right, we need to get to Homer. We're running a little bit tardy. If you're going around the state like Tausch is, or like Greg probably does for his job, well, if you're driving, and hopefully nothing ever happens, hopefully it's always safe and smooth sailing. If something does happen and you're involved in a serious accident and you need representation, there's only one call to make. One call, that's all, and that's the Gruber Law Offices. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. Check out the website, gruber-law.com, to find out more. We'll see if old T rejoins us, but I know the old GOAT, Homer, is scheduled to appear next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Introducing Pizza Hut's new tavern-style pizza. Mark Tauscher here, encouraging you to try this delicious new creation from Pizza Hut. It's an upgrade to their classic crispy thin crust. You can cut it into 16 snackable squares and loaded to the edge with bold, flavorful toppings. Go thin on crust and big on flavor. For a limited time, get a large specialty tavern-style pizza from Pizza Hut for just $12. Go thinner, go crispier, go bolder. Go get the new tavern-style pizza, only from Pizza Hut.
What's on Tap, brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Rooting for the Brew Crew, because we're from Milwaukee too. tastes like Miller time.
Collect a Bob Uecker Harry Doyle bobblehead at the Brewers game on August 17th, courtesy of Chevrolet. Inspired by Uecker's legendary role in the film Major League, the first 30,000 fans through the gates will get this special bobble. Get your tickets at brewers.com/giveaways.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball and Miller Lite.
For love of the game
There's nothing like being selected to the Olympic team.
and love of their country.
Championship of that level, gold medal, means more.
Tune into Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Inside stories from Buck stars on the agony and triumph of competing to win it all at the Olympics. It's Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the Big Win and Madison Casino Guru, is transforming guests into winners. Making an ordinary day into a big win day is easy with a 95% average payout. And with over 140 daily jackpots, the number of people winning has never been bigger. So what are you waiting for? Escape to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison for your next big win.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Homer on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Johnson & Sons Paving. Follow the 3 R's of asphalt maintenance to avoid minor issues becoming huge headaches. Reseal, repair, and replace. Learn more at johnsonsonspaving.com.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure
you know what that music means. You hear him every weekday on the Homer Hour with John Anderson, Bryan Bulaga. I'm on there from time to time, including tonight at 5:15. Tim Van Voren. It's a cavalcade of stars alongside Homer. You also hear him as the voice of Marquette men's basketball. And you see him on God Talk, My Faith with Homer and Pip. It is Steve the Homer True. Homer, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I was a little altercation with Goody. I thought his comment that it was very tough to get rid of Aaron Jones is a bunch of crap. It was very easy because when you offer him that amount, you know he's not coming back.
True.
So,
yeah, but Homer, you understand what's going on. I mean, he's trying to.
No, I don't.
I mean, he's trying to show some respect to Aaron Jones, but yeah, he was more than content trading out Josh Jacobs for Aaron Jones, but he doesn't want to say that per se. He wants to make sure everybody is reverent of Aaron Jones's production and what he meant to the Green Bay Packers for the years that he was here. That's what happened with that little quote.
Yeah, fine. Well, then you say we're going to miss him.
Yeah.
But he said it was really tough, and it wasn't really tough.
I
and
think it was tough.
It wasn't only that. They gave Jacobs like 5 times as much. So
it's true. It's not wrong.
Well, but I think 2 things can be true. I think the fact that Goody wanted to go Josh Jacobs because he was available and it fit. And I think the fact that Aaron Jones is somebody that I think he really respects and loves what he did for the organization. It's a tough business, and you can't just come out and say exactly what happened because you're going to you're gonna show that how the sausage is made. I don't think anybody really cares about that.
All right, that's fine.
All right.
All right. Before we move on from that, because
by
Homer.
the way, I played golf with Jay Eck.
Oh, Jay
What
Eck
the heck?
Senior. Jay Eck Senior.
And he goes, the only Jay Eck. I mean, come on.
Oh, I don't know. Right now, Jay Eck Jr. is rolling down in Moscow. He's in Moscow, Idaho, rolling with them Vandals.
Yeah. All right.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah. Look at the career of Papa. But yes, he says, "Do you know Tausch?" I go, "Who?"
Oh man,
so,
that hurts coming from you.
But he clearly knows you very well, which you know from his son. But because he had the story about the Kentucky Derby nailed.
Yeah, he was a part of that story.
The greatest Tausch. If you know a story, if you want the number one story about Mark Tauscher, I think it has to be that story at the Derby, right? I mean that's
definitely at the top of it. Yeah, it's a top of the list. Yeah, for sure.
Now, wait a minute. Now, you guys, you do this from time to time, the two of you, and even though I've written the story, we've told the story, not everyone knows it. So, someone please tell new listeners to Wilde and Tausch that don't listen every day what the hell the Derby story is, and what does JX Senior have to do with it?
Well, JX Jr., I went with him and some friends, and we're down, and at that point, Coach Eck was the GA. I was not coming back to Wisconsin. I run into Barry Alvarez and Jim Huber as we're sipping on some, what's that terrible drink?
Mint juleps.
Ugh. Blech. But that's what we were sipping on, and eventually we discussed it, had a couple, and next thing you know, bam. Got an invite to come back to play at the University of Wisconsin.
Now, you were going to Youngstown State, I believe, because J.X. dad knew Tressel, who was then the coach there. Was there a connection there as to how that became the place?
Yeah, and that portion was all tied into I had to file to transfer, and when that happened, that kind of pushed the envelope and got that thing over the end. The finish line, if you will. So, yes, Jason Eck and Jason Eck Sr. were definitely a part of that.
Well, Jason Eck, whatever you want to call him, what the heck is going on with those Vandals? I can't wait to watch them again this season. I'm happy for his success.
The senior knows everybody. He has stories about every college basketball coach ever.
He's like you.
Raleigh Massimino. He knew – no, he was way bigger than me. And I never met him. He was the part of my worst day ever in broadcasting in 43
John
years.
McEnroe?
No, JF.
No, I know. John,
this was way worse than John McEnroe.
He set up the John McEnroe interview?
Worse than that.
Well played.
I don't think there was anything worse than that.
Yes, John McEnroe, of course, told me, why weren't you at the effing press conference? That was his first comment ever.
Yeah.
Then he gave you one-on-one anyway.
Yeah, he still gave you a one-on-one.
But he still gave you the one-on-one.
Yes, he did. But, come on. You still think
Homer,
that's appropriate?
Yeah, it worked. That's part of his charm. That's who.
I
Homer,
before we. Away.
No, you shouldn't. No, that would have been awesome if you did. How many? Before we get into Jordan Love playing in the preseason, how many? If there was the same technology as there is right now in tennis, how many majors do you think John McEnroe thinks he would have won? 30, 40? Because every call would have been right. How many do you think got robbed? Does he think got robbed from him because of bad line calls?
The number is whatever you say. Of course, it's all a lie, made up. But yes, I'm sure he believes. I would say he would have won. He would say he would have won 15. I think he won 7 or 8. His run was very short. He should have won many more than he did, but he had other issues.
Like what?
He got hurt, and I think he may have participated in illegal drug use.
That's a pretty big claim right there.
Yeah, you better say allegedly after that. Say allegedly. That clears you of all.
Thank you.
I don't want you getting sued. Yeah. Homer, would you play? Hey, Homer, would you play Jordan Love this preseason if you were the coach?
I will defer to whatever you say. I don't.
I'm asking you.
Great
Thanks
for
I've
coming on
given
the
my
show.
thoughts already. What do you
hold on.
think?
All right.
Jeez.
What are we doing here?
I'm going to defer to Jason. Oh, okay, great. Thanks, Homer.
I'm going to defer to
I
Bulaga.
didn't say Jason. I thought I said you. But either way, would I play him? No, I would not play him. Nope. I don't see
Juice
any
ain't
point.
worth the squeeze.
JV
Juice ain't worth the
games,
squeeze.
There's nothing benefited. You have all these regular season games. All the teams suck the first 2 games. No, I would not play him in preseason
So
games.
I actually agree. I would not have. I would have played him if you're going to game 2 or game 3, not right away. Especially the fact he missed 4 or 5 practices to start camp. But Bulaga brought up a really good point, and I have to admit I've only been up to 1 practice. Jason's been there a bunch. Maybe it is that Matt LaFleur just is not happy with where this offense is, and he thinks they need the work. Because if this thing was a fine-tuned humming machine, I don't think they'd be playing it, because you don't typically play $220 million quarterbacks in meaningless preseason games unless you think you have some major work to do.
I would say that's possible, but I would say LaFleur's wrong to do that. So, but that may be his belief. You don't think it can be done in other ways other than playing in and I want to emphasize, JV games. You're not playing anybody any good from the other team.
Well, then you should.
So what are you really gaining?
Well, you should build some confidence in what you're doing. And again,
you think they're that fragile?
I don't know. That's my question. I don't know. I don't think so. But I don't know. There has to be a reason, because you're doing joint practices. You got 2 joint practices coming up where you're going to get a bunch of work, and quarterback's not going to get hurt. Now you have 2 potential starting offensive linemen not playing against the Cleveland Browns. So I do wonder if they're going to change their tune a little bit. But it makes me think that there's some things that Matt LaFleur not very happy about, or they would not be doing it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I also think Matt LaFleur wanted to play Aaron Rodgers. He didn't. Young teams need work. The only way you get better at playing football is playing football. And I think he realizes that they came out and got out to a much better start in their season last year when they did work. And he's really fighting what the right thing to do is.
Okay. But I would think also the injury to the lineman, I think that could play a huge role.
I think Zack Tom,
even if
but
you wanted
I just...
to do, all right, okay, you asked me. Even if I had said yes, now with the injuries, depending on who's hurt, now he's not playing because of the injury to the offensive lineman. Even if I thought he should play.
I'm going to be curious if this changes the tune of what Matt LaFleur is going to do, or how many reps they're going to get when you're talking about 2/5 of your potential starting off, and both on the right side not playing. Be very curious if that changes the tune of what they're doing.
Right. I mean, we have to start with the premise these games are meaningless.
For
right?
sure.
Do we agree with that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So
Jason
you're not really
does not
missing a
agree.
game.
Jason
You're
does
missing
not
a
agree with
JV. Once you call it a JV game, he might miss. Yes, I would not play him in the JV game. That's what they are, and that's how they should be called.
So I disagree that they're meaningless in terms of the guys that can emerge and eventually develop into players that help you, that need to play because they're not at a point in their careers where they are too valuable to risk. I bring up Tramon Williams as an example. No one knew who the hell he was going into family night 2007. And then he had a big family night. Then he played well in the preseason. And by midway through the year, he was their nickel. And by another 2 years later, he was one of the top corners in the league. So those types of guys, it's not meaningless.
Jason, quick question.
Well,
quick point, though.
Can
quick point.
Can I respond to that?
Let me finish, and then you can have the court. Meaningless is it's a weird term, but let's all be clear about one thing. You're going to get guys develop. Those guys are going to play. They're not meaningless to them.
Correct.
But there is nothing that would be more meaningful than a monster injury. I don't care
I
if
agree.
Romeo
No.
Dobbs. So that's the point I wanted to make.
Yeah, I know, and you're finishing my sentence for me, which I know we've been doing a lot lately, which scares the crap out of you.
Who's this lady?
Lady, when you're on the sideline. Yes, it is meaningless to the guys that are going to be the frontline players for you that you need to stay healthy. That's why I don't believe in playing them, no matter how much they may be rusty or they may need the work. It's not worth it. And if you don't believe me, it's not just Jordy Nelson in Pittsburgh. It's Bryan Bulaga in Family Night and them changing Family Night forever after that.
Guys get hurt in football, man. It does happen. It's just part of the deal. It is.
Again, it's not that I don't understand it. I'm just saying that if a guy's going to get hurt in football, somehow, and maybe my psychology is jacked up, but somehow I feel at least a little bit better that it happened in a game that actually counts.
Maybe. I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Is it my turn
Homer.
yet on my segment?
Homer, what's up? What do you got?
It's your turn.
Jeez, don't pout.
Defer to
Stop
Homer.
pouting. Hey, stop pouting.
I would like to thank both of you. I will never refer to them as meaningless again. They are meaningful to somebody now, even if it was the equipment manager. I'd have to admit that. They are, however, JV games. That I will continue with. I will refer to them as JV games. And yes, you play JV games to develop your very young players.
Great.
So it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
So
hey.
I'm happy with that.
Hey, JV games is perfect. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to leave this conversation, because I don't know if I've ever finished a conversation with you telling you something you said was perfect.
Oh, baby,
I can assure you haven't.
Bye.
Not as long as I've been working with you.
Oh, you said bye to me. That's the first. Next.
Yes, exactly. I'm very proud of that, actually. I'm also proud that we have a sign in our garage that says Johnson & Sons Paving, just in case they someday make it to stately Wilde Manor and replace our driveway with Tausch working on the crew again if he's invited back.
Yeah, what's your address? We'll get the Johnson & Sons Paving crew right up there. Summer's here, but before you know it, you'll be prepping for winter. Johnson & Sons Paving wants to make sure you're ready by remembering the 3 R's of parking lot and asphalt maintenance. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes, and replace if there's constant standing water, warping, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare those customers or tenants with a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons Paving to fix those minor repairs before they become huge headaches. Visit johnsonsonspaving.com right now to schedule an appointment. Oh, I almost just got run over by the young quarterback, and Dyke.
Nice.
Just got out of the way, just the quick feet.
I'm glad.
He's not young.
He's not.
Younger than I am.
He's
Let me tell you something, he's a lot younger than I am.
Senior.
A lot younger than I am.
He's like very old for a college quarterback.
He's younger than you are.
It's true. He's younger than the rest of us.
Yeah, but I'm not comparing college athletes to me.
Okay. Believe it or not.
I'm only going to compare it to me. Who else am I going to compare it to?
Believe it or not, we still have a segment left of the 10 o'clock hour. So more Wilde and Tausch with Tausch live from the sideline at Badgers practice. Hopefully he doesn't get run over by a young man playing quarterback. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
Mark Tauscher here, reminding you that from farm to table, there's no better product and no better taste than Grassland Dairy. I think it's safe to say that Green Bay's run of quarterback success over the last 3 decades has been the best in all of football. But even more impressive than that, the outstanding run that Grassland Dairy has been serving up delicious taste and high-quality butter since 1904. That's over 5 generations. Grassland's commitment to quality and excellence starts with the way farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of the process. They're proud to offer a wide range of reliable, delicious, nutritious dairy ingredients as they have for all these years. Butter better with better butter. There's no better product and no better taste than Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy, crafting butter for 5 generations. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Stoughton Trailers. Big trailers and big opportunity at Stoughton Trailers. Learn more about why a career at Stoughton Trailers might be for you. Go to stojobs.com.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Hunter Vaughn. 6th-year running back Ches Malusi has been named to the Doak Walker Award watch list. Malusi is in his 4th season with Wisconsin. Last year, he had 307 yards and 4 touchdowns before an injury against Purdue ended his season early. Ches joins Nathaniel Vakos, Hunter Wooler, and Carson Pfeiffer as Badgers to earn preseason award watch list honors. Wisconsin kicks off their season Friday, August 30th as they host Western Michigan.
Bundle a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens for as low as $188 per month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock with Retirement Income Strategies. And what sets us apart is we're an independent, family-run office. We help clients like you understand the financial world and build a portfolio that's in your best interest. To learn more, go to MadisonMoneyGuy.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
You're probably being overwhelmed with information about semaglutide, the game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Jim Rutledge here. I was like you. I didn't know what it was until I saw Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. He can walk you through the benefits. He can tell you if it's right for you, and then you could come up with a plan to change your life with a workout plan and semaglutide. With that plan, I dropped from 20% body fat to 10% body fat, and I dropped over 20 pounds of fat and kept my muscle. You can do the same thing. Go see Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health.
Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
Thought I'd gotten us back on the clock, but my Mike McCarthy-esque clock management continues as we wrap up the 10 o'clock hour.
Very frustrating.
Hope Mike has a good year. I'm rooting for him.
Not looking good.
Yeah. I texted him because I realized that in the craziness of our life, I forgot to have our morning walk around his property where I bring him Starbucks at 5:30 in the morning, so we got to make up for that maybe during the bye week. Tausch, we did have a musical question for you.
Yeah.
Right now I hear Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath with Crazy Train. Heard Bon Jovi earlier.
Seems like a lot of 80s classics out there today.
It's like classic rock now. Did you take over the playlist while you were at practice?
No, but there's been a couple of killer songs, and I give it a monster thumbs up for today's music selection.
Well, you also give a monster thumbs up to Kohler Services, especially when they get to work on that bathroom that they had in Italy.
Indeed, I do. Now is the time, and it's hot out here in Platteville. Oh, man. Time to beat the heat with a refreshing new shower or bath from Kohler Services. Family-owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life. And this month only, you get 0-interest financing for 12 months. And a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request that free quote. And with fast, professional installation, well, that is always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
The Green Bay Packers have another kicker. His name is not Mason Crosby. We'll tell you who it is, and we'll ask Tausch what this means to kick off the 11 o'clock hour, which starts in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Wisconsin Badgers Volleyball on 100.5 ESPN. From the season opener August 27th to the NCAA tournament, catch every thrilling match all season long right here on 100.5 ESPN. The Milwaukee Brewers 10-0 shutout winners last night over the Atlanta Braves in the first of the three-game set between two National League contenders. Willie Adames leading the way with a pair of two-run home runs for the Brewers in the victory. Tonight, the two teams back at it. 6:20 first pitch. Opening day starter Freddie Peralta scheduled to get the start on the mound for Milwaukee this evening. Entering play today, the Brewers 6 games up on the St. Louis Cardinals, 7 up on the Pirates for the top spot in the National League Central Division standings. And they're within just a few games of both the Phillies and Dodgers for the top record in the National League. Remember, the top two teams in the league get a first-round bye in the playoffs come October. Check out the latest MLB power rankings over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Football, the Packers back at practice up in Green Bay, getting set for preseason game number 1 on Saturday. Jordan Love and many of the starters expected to play. Not Jordan Morgan, though. He suffered a shoulder injury at practice. He will not play on Saturday.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, which will include little Whoa Nelly, Tausch's final thoughts if practice ends before the show does from Badgers practice. A little conversation about this Brandon Aiyuk situation. I heard Chris Canty this morning on unsportsmanlike without Mishmel Schmalman and without Evan Cohen. It was Canty versus Carlin revisited. But they were talking about all the people that the 49ers have to pay. And I thought, you know what? Sooner or later, the Packers are going to get that same point. They're going to have to make similar decisions. And that's why windows actually do matter when it comes to championship opportunities. But first, Tausch, in the immortal words of Vince Lombardi, what the hell's going on out here? The Green Bay Packers have another kicker. His name is Alex Hale, which I think, wasn't that the name of the skipper on Gilligan's Island? I think that's Alan Hale, now that I think about it. Alex Hale came in for a workout. They added him to the roster today. He is wearing number 16, which apparently is the number that they give to all the third kickers. That's what Jake Podlesny had. That's what James Turner had, and now Alex Hale. They kicked into a stiff wind, one that Matt LaFleur called tornado-like conditions, which might have been a little bit of hyperbole yesterday. Tausch, what am I to make of the fact that now they've brought in yet another kicker to try his hand at becoming the Packers' full-time kicker?
Well, would you do this if you felt good about your spot?
You would not.
So that obviously is what it tells you, and they're searching. I think the idea of, well, let's motivate these guys. These guys want to make kicks. Now, it sounds like yesterday, obviously it's windy. Hey, welcome to the NFL. It's going to rain. There's going to be snow. Balls are going to be frozen. There's always going to be something that you have to overcome. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to expect these guys to be perfect when there's swirling tornado-like winds, which I find probably a bit strong. But this is a position that is very concerning for Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst, and they have not found that formula yet. They have not gotten the results from the two guys that are there, that they're consistent, they've kept, and they just keep cycling through. And at this time of the year, especially when you start getting injuries at other spots, it's one thing to have three kickers in May. It's another thing when you're starting to get guys calf injuries and you got Jordan Morgan with a shoulder. Those roster spots become more and more valuable as training camp elapses because you're only going to play, 30 or 40 guys aren't even going to play in preseason games at the end, more than likely, and you're not going to have three kickers on your roster. So it tells me that it's a hot mess. Well, that's too strong. It's just there is a lot of issues that they still have, and there doesn't seem to be a surefire solution that they feel comfortable with right now.
So, all right, and to your point, right, they signed defensive end Brevin Allen. They signed defensive end Zack Morton, who I mentioned early in the show, as he is represented.
Don Morton's grandkid.
That's what we heard from you, but that's not accurate. He's represented by Tommy DeVito's agent, and they signed Alex Hale, the kicker. They waived Don Callis, injured, a cornerback, and Rory Starkey, an injured wide receiver. And obviously they released earlier in the week Jacob Eason, their fourth quarterback. So
Tony Eason's kid?
No, you're doing it again.
What do you mean?
You're doing that name association game.
Well, is it Tony Eason's kid? He's a quarterback?
He's not. No, not Tony. Okay. I'll check the facts on that. I do know that Matt Hasselbeck is the son of Don Hasselbeck, who played tight end for the Patriots back in the 70s. But, Tausch, I guess my question is, at what point, and I know you're not putting his business on the street, at what point do you call veteran kickers that maybe are sitting at home in their homes, not anyone specific like Mason Crosby, but he had a couple of cups of coffee last year, right? At the end of the year, people brought him in. Is there any reason to continue to do this, and at some point do you start to think, okay, we need to do something else? Or do you just keep cycling them through and the best man wins, even if it's Anders Carlson again?
Well, I think the idea of like Mason, I don't know where Mason's head's at on that, but
sure,
if there was a veteran, isn't Greg Joseph a veteran kicker?
Somewhat veteran, I think 3 years with the
veteran.
Well, 3 years with the Vikings.
It's 2 years in, you're a veteran. I get what you're saying.
Okay.
The idea of bringing in like a Robbie Gould, Mason Crosby, that all sounds great. But the Packers are still a young football team. They want to have someone that they can count on moving forward, and that's what they drafted Anders. Now, if he's not up to the task, that's when you start scrambling, and that's obviously where they're at. They don't feel good enough about him that it's one thing if they're just going to let this battle go with him and Greg Joseph and you let the best man win and you move forward. When you keep cycling through 3 guys, that tells me something is amiss and they don't feel good about it. And the more you keep hearing this, the more you keep thinking that the kicker that's going to go down to Brazil with this team is not on this roster right now. That's the more, as this thing unfolds, that's what my vibe is.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's right, I don't know. But unless one of these guys just goes bananas in games and is drilling everything and you all of a sudden just see a rocket take off, I think they're looking very vociferously to try and find somebody that they feel better about than who they have currently on their roster.
So if that's and you're right, you don't know, I don't know, and maybe Anders Carlson gets in a rhythm, makes all of his preseason game kicks, is at 85% the rest of the practices, and they say, hey, Ty goes to the draft pick, we're keeping him. Maybe that's what happens. But I just again, and I don't want to be repetitive, but man, it is so interesting to me how different it is when you know you've got your guy. And I know it's not the same as quarterbacks. It's on a much, much smaller scale. But kickers are put in positions where you win and lose games. Some might say it's a zero-sum game. And when you got the guy that you know, when you got the Justin Tucker, when you've got the Mason Crosby, when you got that guy that you know you can count on, it just must be such a security blanket compared to what the position players are watching unfold. If you were on this team or if you're Jordan Love, you like these guys, they're great guys, but you don't love the fact that the team clearly doesn't know who they can trust with the game on the line right now.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that, from a Packer fan standpoint, we look at how lucky and fortunate we've been at the quarterback position over 30-some-odd years. Been pretty fortunate at kicking, too. How many games have been lost because of kicks?
Right, very few.
Not many. I can think of Longwell against the Eagles way back in his rookie season. I don't remember a ton of other ones. I remember Mason hitting big kicks in Dallas.
Mason on that rainy, foggy game in December against the Arizona Cardinals. The league comes at you fast, and Mike McCarthy gets fired because he missed.
That was like a tornado out there, though. You can't count on that one. Yeah, there are those moments, but for the most part, you've been very fortunate that is a position coaches want to sleep at night. Coaches want to feel really good about what they're doing, and right now they don't. Last year they didn't, and that is, in a game of inches, in a business that is as tightly drawn together, those games are going to come down to it. And I think last year they were fine rolling the dice, saying, "Well, it'll all work itself out. I don't know how good we're going to be." Now you have legitimate Super Bowl aspirations, and you would be doing a dereliction of duty if you didn't scour the earth to find somebody that you feel like can make a 47-yard field goal to advance you to the next round. And that's what Brian Gutekunst is doing.
All right, I want to get to this Brandon Aiyuk situation because I'm curious on multiple levels. One, how much it potentially weakens arguably the best team in the NFC if he does indeed get dealt. And secondly, they've got a lot of really good players. That's why they've been to 3 straight NFC Championship games and been to Super Bowls. I do find myself wondering, when will the Packers hit this point, and how will they handle it? So we'll get to both of those things coming up next with Tausch live from Badgers practice. But first, Tausch needs to tell us about Quick Trip, which I believe is the only thing that can get Mark Tauscher to stop on a long drive is a Quick Trip sign.
It is indeed. I love it. I stopped on the way down to Platteville, and I'm certain I will stop on the way back up to Madison. Well, it's baseball season. I'm going to tournaments all over the place. And right now, we got the old Quick Trip Coca-Cola Cold Tab Cash Grab game. We got everything moving over at Quick Trip. We had $500,000 they're handing out over the summer, with one $250,000 winner at the end of summer. Powerade, Coca-Cola, you name it, you get on that app. I love the app. I keep looking. I keep getting discounts on gas. I bought a pack of, I think, Jolly Ranchers the other day, and bam, 13 cents came off my deal, or 8 cents came off. You just never know. Head over to Quick Trip. Get on that rewards program. QuickTrip.com to get moving today.
I just won $1 off my next Core Power Elite drink.
You did?
I did. And I got way more entries than Jesse does.
I just got one entry for the third straight day. I'm starting to question some things here.
It's just crazy to me that there's $500K that they're giving away, and all you have to do is go to QuickTrip.com/sweepstakes. You're entered, and you get a chance at both that $25 and that $250K at the end of the summer.
Tausch is live at Badgers practice. You can hear the noise in the background. He will give us his observations, and we'll get to this Aiyuk story coming up next. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for the great team at Everlight Solar. There's a bunch of energy and excitement around the start of a brand new football season in Green Bay. And speaking of energy, the start of a new football season could also mean the start of a new year to power your home. How would you like to start saving money while also helping to save the planet? All you have to do is to make the switch with Everlight Solar. Our family is one of many who have made the switch to solar over the last several years. We knew we had wanted to, but we weren't exactly sure where to even start. That's when we met with the Everlight team, and they outlined the entire process and educated us on the benefits of making the switch. It was super simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
The drive home just got a whole lot classier.
I love how you point out like fencing is not cool, but like curling.
Well, sort of.
Matt, were you made fun of?
Yeah, but Matt's cool now, though. That's
He's cool
the thing.
now. You said in high school.
I don't
if
know.
I went fencing and won a gold medal, it would
But
be
there's
cool.
a difference between like a knight in shining armor and going poke, poke versus like sweep, 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 sweep.
Lovely sound effects.
Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light. Weekdays 4 to 6 on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Carbless Ready-to-Drink Cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, a special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Switch on the sky and the stars glow for you. Go see the world 'cause it's all so brand new. Don't close your eyes 'cause your future's ready to shine. It's just a matter of time before we learn how to fly. Welcome to the rhythm of the night. There's something in the air you can't deny.
Rolling on with Tausch at Badgers practice. What's going on over there, old T?
A lot of competitive battles. Red zone today, goal line, some live tackling, a lot of good stuff.
Well, there's a lot of good stuff going on if you're a Packers fan with the San Francisco 49ers. Former All-Pro, second-team All-Pro last year, Brandon Aiyuk, has, as you know, requested a trade. What was it? Pittsburgh was reported to be negotiating.
Pittsburgh, New England, Cleveland. So are you guys starting to join my club about
don't pay guys?
Dipping and the Mount Everest effect, I call it. The Mount Everest effect where you got to pay guys. There's a lot more luggage climbing back up that mountain next time around.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to carry it? You getting a bunch of porters to help carry it up? Like what? There's a lot of questions. And I think, again, getting off to a good start, you climb that mountain a bunch of times. And when you don't put that flag in there and everything goes crumbling back down, do you got the fortitude to keep doing it? We'll see if they do. But there's a lot of issues that come with that. Amongst many, but the paying a bunch of guys. You had to pay McCaffrey a little sweetener.
They did.
Your left tackle's not even in
Trent
camp.
Williams.
And then McCaffrey pulls a calf, and now you got a quarterback that I'm sure would like to get paid. There's just a lot going on there. And can you keep that all together? You can if you're winning. But I'll tell you this, you're not winning all of a sudden. Will there be some craters? I think they're so talented and good enough that they'll find a way to make the playoffs. But don't be shocked if they don't win the division and they're stumbling and bumbling a little bit at that 5, 6, 7 spot when it comes to the playoffs.
So you always say this, and you say this about Kenny Clark and paying Jordan Love, is that you want this problem because that means you drafted well and you have a lot of good football players on your team.
Yes.
But as I always say, when coaches say that's a good problem to have, it still is a problem. Now, the Packers don't have this problem right now, but they will have this problem potentially with all that young talent coming due in the next couple of years. So this is where Russ Ball, if he's able to effectively navigate all this, will really be valuable if they can structure these deals to keep guys together if they want. And on the flip side, Tausch, is this the reason why more teams are saying, okay, we do this with running backs, not the 49ers clearly, and we can do it with wide receivers too. Don't pay them, bring in new guys. The 49ers drafted multiple wide receivers. They could be a year from now without Brandon Aiyuk and Deebo Samuel after those guys looked like they were indispensable players for them.
Yeah, that's where you just have to keep restocking the shelf, and you have to understand that it's not always going to be home runs, but you have to be preemptive, and I think that's one of the things. If you look at what Russ Ball's done, Elton Jenkins got him done early, got him a little bit under what the market would be. Kenny Clark, you figured out a way to get him before his contract runs out. And now this is why I really believe that you're going to see Romeo Doubs let's say he comes out hot. I think you're going to see him they're going to sign him to a deal earlier where you can get him maybe at less than what that market rate is. And that's where you have to be very selective and smart about who you're paying, because when you do that, that sends a shockwave through your locker room, but it also helps you plan what that next process is going to be for who your replacements are going to be. And if you look at what Russ has done, John Runyon, you end up getting Sean Rhyan in there because hey, we're not going to pay him.
Right.
All of that stuff gets kind of detailed. So, yes, it is a good problem to have, but make no mistake about it. You didn't hear that about Jordan Love. You're not going to hear that about Zack Tom. There are core guys Elton Jenkins, you didn't hear that. There are core guys, and San Fran did it too with Bosa, with Kittle. There's some guys that you're just going to pay. And then there's other guys, you see it with T. Higgins out in Cincinnati, where it is what it is. You can't pay everybody. And that's where it'll get tough on Green Bay. But that's why you have to make sure you're very smart about your process and how you're going to go about paying those guys, because San Fran is up against it to a certain extent. But do you really think San Fran's offense is going to just completely sputter and fall out of play if Brandon Ayuk's not there? I don't.
I don't think so either, but I guess that leads to my question.
Now, I would have traded Deebo Samuel because I think he's on the wrong side. I think he's beaten down a little bit, and I think he's been used. He's been used a bunch. So if I was them, I would have traded Debo over the draft, gotten someone to take him and that salary, and then I'd pay Aiyuk because you're seeing it. Brian Gutekunst is living it. If you're not a big-time contributor, big-time star, I ain't giving you a third contract. Goody did it with Kenny Clark. We were wondering if he would. He decided to. I think that is going to be about as rare as that rare white buffalo that has now come back into fruition. And I think most teams are going to look at what Green Bay is doing and other teams. And I think San Fran's finding out. As much as I love these older players, when they get to be 30, it's time to move along. And that's what I think you're going to see with a lot of they're going to have to overturn as they pay Brock Purdy.
So this is starting to get really irritating because
more wins this year right now. Green Bay or San Fran?
I still believe in San Francisco. I just
Jesse?
do.
San Francisco.
Pull it. I'm going Green Bay.
There you go, Jesse. You've been assigned that. This is irritating because I was literally, once again, just about to say if you'd have traded Deebo Samuel when he had a market, you'd have money for Brandon Aiyuk. And Deebo Samuel.
I think they wanted to, Jason. I think you're seeing people being reluctant to pay 25-year-old guys. Deebo's older and beat up. So I think for as much as we love, Deebo's tough. He's a physical, really good player. But how much does he have left in the tank? And are you willing to pay for what that's going to be? And teams aren't. So it's easy to sit here and say from our cheap seats, oh, yeah, we'll trade him. Get a first-round pick for him and, a younger player on a cheaper deal. Oh, get a second or third round. I don't think those offers were there.
Brandon Aiyuk is 26 years old. He just turned 26. This may surprise you, but Deebo Samuel is only 28. He's going into his sixth season, but he's taken a lot of punishment.
That's a lot of miles on that 28-year-old. He played running back for a half a season.
Right, and this is not dissimilar, though, from, and we can criticize Goody for absolutely and everything else, but the trade-off is that we're talking about here is you save a couple of years, you get a younger player to play the same spot, and that's what he did at running back. And we all love Aaron Jones. We miss him, et cetera, et cetera. But I will be very surprised if by the season's end I am able to criticize Goody for getting rid of Aaron Jones in favor of Josh Jacobs. I will be very surprised.
I don't think you will be surprised. And the question I have is, how many years do you think Josh Jacobs is going to be here?
2.
Yeah, that's where we're at. And in a time when you're already worried about, well, what are we going to pay this guy? What are we going to do that? Don't sweat it, because today is not going to be tomorrow.
Today's gas prices are not tomorrow's gas prices.
The cap is going to go up another Lord knows what percentage, and you're going to shuffle guys out. That Preston, whether it's going to be Preston Smith, there's going to be money. It's all interchangeable, but what isn't interchangeable is, hey, this is a guy I need on my roster. I will pay the price to keep him. Green Bay has done that, and wisely, they've done it early in guys' deals so that they can get them, and they're not paying $35 million for a Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, so pay Romeo Doubs now before you have to pay him more later.
Hey, I'm legit right now. If you're sitting here, and we don't know what Romeo Doubs is going to do, but if you believe in Romeo Doubs, 3 years, $65 million, 22 and some change.
Pay that man his money.
I think he's going to be, between him and Zack Tom, I wouldn't be shocked if those are your next two guys that the Green Bay football Packers are looking at. How do we get these guys locked up?
Agree with you. All right, we're going to get to Whoa Nelly coming up. Tausch is going to give us a few more glimpses in Platteville before he heads back and stops at a quick trip. Maybe he wants to listen on his drive back to the latest edition of Behind the Bucks. It is here on the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher. This one, Behind the Bucks, going for gold. It features Bucks stars sharing their experiences from competing on the world's biggest stage, the Olympics. From battling against their Bucks teammates to teaming up with fierce rivals, all for the glory of a gold medal, Behind the Bucks offers unique access and deep storytelling for Bucks fans, unlike ever before. Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Find it on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get your podcasts. Whoa, Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, I'm Jeff Levering alongside Gina Della from Pella.
Thanks, Jeff. How do you say welcome?
With a new entry door from Pella.
Say it with color.
Like baseball bat oak or foul pole yellow?
Say it with class.
Like following players' unwritten baseball rules.
With clarity.
Like a no-doubter shot off the scoreboard.
And with this great deal, 0% interest for up to 3 years with no money down in equal payments.
That's the ball game. A Pella walk-off.
Schedule your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. See 31/2024.
You know Fleet Farm's got everything for everyday life. But did you also know we have the best prices guaranteed every day? Pet food, wild bird food, automotive, hunting, fishing, farming, you name it. All your everyday essentials, all at the best prices guaranteed. And if you happen to find a lower price elsewhere, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life at the best prices guaranteed.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Stoughton Health, in collaboration with patient and family advisors, seeks to advance the healthcare experience at Stoughton Health by providing a forum for past patients and families to provide feedback on a variety of healthcare and other related topics. Advisors offer constructive feedback on their personal journey at Stoughton Health, helping to elevate the patient experience and increase satisfaction. Interested? Please call Amy at 608-873-2308.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
I remember the nights when we were young, dumb, and wild and free. When I closed my eyes, I could see you in my sweatshirt. Dancing around that college bar these days, I don't know where you are, but I get to keep these memories forever. Oh, I
remember. Cheat codes? Is that what this is, Jesse? I didn't hear this at the Badgers practice.
That is correct. Yeah. Might have heard it yesterday. It seemed more yesterday's
maybe,
playlist.
Yes. The playlist was a little different today. Tausch rolls on from Badgers practice. We shift gears to Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Big time bummer.
Oh, no.
What happens?
The White Sox won.
Hey!
The streak ends at 21. A Whoa Nelly follow-up, so I told you I would text my best White Sox friend that I have to see how he felt about the...
who was that again?
Tier 2 Jordan.
Is he waiting for the movie to come out, like Moneyball 2?
I've never heard of Jordan. He ain't no Tier 2. He's Tier 3 at best.
Big Chicago sports
We've
fan,
heard
Jordan.
of him. Now, wait, he's not the Chicago guy who left you his dog.
No, we did watch his dog, who is named Peyton after Walter Payton.
Nice.
A few weeks ago, we watched her for a weekend. So, we have watched his dog, but no, he's a different friend than the one that we watched for 3 weeks with Rufus. That was too much.
Not even friends anymore.
Jordan did say part of him wanted to see the record broken because it would be the big stain on Jerry Reinsdorf, the general manager's legacy.
That's what I said.
And he deserves that in Jordan's mind. But ultimately, he would be happy if they won, which, of course, they did last night. So I guess you guys were right. White Sox fans did not want to set the record. They wanted to win a game and make it stop.
Nice.
It's crazy that a team and its fan base wants to win games. That's so
I know,
weird.
wild.
Like, what a shocking deal that is.
Whoa, Nelly!
Thank you. But Jesse, I'm going to tell you this right now. I woke up in Platteville at about 5:15 this morning, thinking I would check out Unsportsmanlike. You were in Platteville?
No, woke up at 5:15 though.
So I'm going to watch Unsportsmanlike. Well, our buddy Evan's not on there, so I text him to make sure he's alive, and he is. But then the next thing that I thought was, I wonder if the White Sox beat the A's last night. And I have to admit, when I thought that, because they had, I think somebody threw a no-hitter or something last night, right?
Yeah, the Astros had down to 2 outs and then gave up a home run.
Oh, so they didn't throw a no-hitter. But that was the lead on SportsCenter, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's just me, but I think people were definitely intrigued by the fact that the Chicago White Sox were in that bad of a position.
It was the best storyline in baseball so far this year.
You might be right.
Nelly!
What else? The Ohtani betting thing at the start of the year would be the only other option, really. Brewers 10-0 winners last night, by the way, in Atlanta. Here we come.
Indeed.
Chasing for the top two. Remember, the top two in the National League record-wise, division winners get first-round buys. Chasing that now. In play for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Chasing waterfalls.
Go.
This is a fun story from Florida International University. International recording artist Pitbull has purchased...
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide, has purchased the naming rights to FIU, Florida International University's football stadium. For the next 5 years, it will be known as Pitbull Stadium.
Get out of here.
That's a real thing.
Is this the Onion?
Nope. This is ESPN.com, the college football page, front
Just
and
wait
center.
a second. Jason, why do you think this is crazy? I think this is genius. The dude's a performer. Hold up a second. He's paying $1.2 million per. That's going to cover a lot of stuff for FIU. He's going to get the stadium for 10 days, so he's going to be able to he'll be able to probably make that money back and then some by selling out the stadium, doing concerts, et cetera, and he's not. So I think this is the new way. I think Drake should start thinking about doing this.
Snoop Dogg Stadium in Long Beach, California.
You laugh, But I guess the question is, what would it be? Charlie Barron's? Like, who's doing it at Wisconsin?
Yeah, so the question is, if Camp Randall's naming rights were suddenly up for grabs, which Wisconsin celebrity is putting in the cash to name the stadium?
Well, it can't just be like any celebrity. You have to be a performer. I think the only way you make this work is by performing and using the stadium to make a bunch of money too. Because the stadium, you're always looking, how can we generate revenue? The stadium, you only use it 8 times a year. What are you going to do? Pitbull figured it out. So who is our Wisconsin Pitbull? I don't know.
Steve Miller?
Willem Dafoe DeField.
Bon Iver Stadium?
Tony Shalhoub Stadium.
Trying to think of who else. Garbage, right? Butch Vig? Garbage.
Okay.
Garbage. Garbage Arena. All right, first of all.
So whoever does do this, the only thing I ask is on December 21st, when you do your big concert, we do the big fireworks on the solstice.
Oh, God.
Of course you do.
That'd be awesome.
Bodine Stadium.
Tier 1 Tyler says Lil Wayne because he's a Packers fan.
Yeah, but that's Lambeau. It's got to be a Badger. It's got to be Badger adjacent. Don't you think?
I would think so.
Could it be an athlete?
Yeah, but what are they going to do? Again, I really think
Juggle.
that 10 appearances at the stadium is a critical component to this, making this thing make sense.
I'd just like to clarify because you got after me. From Pitbull's standpoint, this is genius. I agree with you.
Yes.
It just seems, it's just so weird.
Why?
Because it's different. That's exactly why. Because Fiserv, which is a company that, frankly, I had never heard of before, paying for the naming rights of Fiserv Forum puts them on the map. At least people are now curious. Oh, what is Fiserv? I got to look this up.
Yeah.
Obviously, AmFam has naming rights at not only the old Miller Park, but the AmFam Amphitheater, and they've got a gate at Lambeau. Like, they are a proud Wisconsin company. So, like, the Packers sell gates. They don't sell the naming rights, but they sell gates. Fleet Farm has a gate. Quick Trip has a gate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Invisalign, which if I'm going to have kids that need braces at some point, I'm open to being sponsored by Invisalign too. But it's just, how many times have you seen Charlie Barron's Gate at Lambeau Field? I don't see that being something that's going to happen soon. That's all. Different. Love it.
Yeah, but it's not. We're not talking about Lambeau. We're talking about. We're
talking about stadiums.
Chris Farley Field.
Smaller stadiums. Chris Farley's not alive.
I am aware, but you could do.
Marquette could play their rugby games there. He was on the rugby team.
You guys aren't understanding the basic concept of why this makes so much sense for Pitbull.
No, we totally do.
FIU's not getting a sponsor that's going to pay a couple $1 million.
No,
so the fact that he will.
Do.
Oh, you do, but you don't. Okay, fair enough.
No, we definitely do. We're just trying to come up with Wisconsin people because that was the actual question.
Matt Racine says House of Pain could be the Camp Randall. They could just call it the House of Pain.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't realize that dude's old. The House of Pain guy. He's an
that
old
song is old. What do you mean you're not? That song was old when you guys came up with it on the sideline.
As old as Tyler Van Dyke.
Oh, hey, good news, Jesse. I just saw this. NCAA punished former Michigan coach 4-year show cause. Hey, way to step up to the plate, NCAA. You guys just keep making great decisions.
Nice.
What a joke. Nice job.
Whoa, Nelly.
Championship strip.
Nelly.
Great job. I'm saying that facetious.
Thanks for clarifying. We understand what facetiousness
I know we've had some
is.
issues with facetiousness.
You did, yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Tommy DeVito.
This is really a rock and a hard place because Hunter Vaughn's the one who brought the Michigan thing up with. He got a little contentious on Monday. But Hunter's a Gerald Ford guy, but he hates Michigan. So
that is interesting.
You gotta really pick a side there.
It's got to be difficult for Hunter there.
It's not easy.
Minnesota Vikings general manager, Tausch, you remember his name, of course.
Yep, Spielman.
Nope. That is Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah.
Okay.
And
yeah, you did pretty good there. Good work.
Thank you. And head coach Kevin O'Connell will work through the 2024 season on their current contracts entering the final year.
Ooh.
No extension in place, according to owner-president Mark Wilf on Tuesday. Are the Vikings preparing to clean house?
You know what? I actually think they've done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I thought they'd be worse. I think this will be a tough year. They're obviously banking on Sam Darnold, and then whether or not I think the NCAA
after Thanksgiving.
The NCAA suspended J.J. McCarthy with show cause penalty, so I don't know if he can play.
He's eligible after Thanksgiving.
Oh, he is. Well, that's good because that's the Tausch plan. If you know what, I think O'Connell does a good job. I think they've actually done a pretty good job in Minnesota, so it wouldn't surprise me if they fired everybody.
Yeah. I knew that's exactly where that was going to wind up. Yeah, they went 13-4 his first year. I know they won like 11 games that were one-score games. But you then don't re-sign the veteran quarterback. You draft J.J. McCarthy, and then you leave these guys on their original deals. There is no security there. None. And here's the thing. What if the next guy, let's say you scrap these guys, which I think would be a mistake with Kevin O'Connell because he's in that Matt LaFleur group of guys that run an offense that really is working in the NFL right now. You scrap this, and then what if the new GM doesn't like J.J. McCarthy? Then you're gonna get another quarterback?
Hey, rinse cycling, but you'll be able to get Kirk Cousins back at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
2 years, they'll have Penix, and then you can get Cousins back. It'll all work itself out the way it's supposed to.
It will indeed. All right, that's it for Whoa Nelly. I'm sorry, I'm having a memory lapse, which happens from time to time.
Packers fans.
There we go. Did you tell us about AmFam?
Come on down to Lambeau Field. Kick off another year of those big smiles in less than a mile. We started on July 22nd. Camp's still rolling, so little Packer fans can ride between Lambeau and training camp with their own bike or from American Family Insurance's fleet, right alongside your favorite Packer players and coaches. American Family Insurance continues to support this heartwarming event, mobilizing the community to realize their dreams as they ride safe and protected. Join American Family Insurance for another historic year as we keep the tradition moving. Grab your wheels and let's ride Green Bay. Dream fearlessly, insure carefully.
All right. I thought that we still needed to do that. So that's it for you, right? You and LePay and Luke Fickle are all going to go have chocolate ice cream cones?
We might, yeah. I'm going to see. Maybe a sorbet today.
You're a big sorbet guy. Roofer Rocher or whatever it was. All right, Tausch, great work today. Take it in, shower up, drive safely home.
Yeah, looking
Say
forward
hi
to
to our
home.
crew. A quick trip, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds good. See you, fellas.
All right, that is Mark Tauscher live from Badgers practice in Platteville. Jesse and I will wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. All right, now take advantage of the Silverado Sales Spectacular at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Get more truck for your buck with up to 15% off select Silverado models. Plus 1.9% APR is available. Stop by the dealership on Main Street in Sun Prairie and check out all of the Silverado options to choose from. Zimbrick Chevrolet is Dane County's #1 volume dealer. And if you're in the market for an electric vehicle, Zimbrick Chevrolet has EVs. Save $7,500 now with the EV tax credit on the all-new and exciting Equinox and Blazer EVs. With a great selection of new and used vehicle inventory, plus their outstanding service team, you've got to check out Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Start online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com or stop on in on Main Street in Sun Prairie. Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you at greatdanepub.com.
With your Badger Minute, I'm Hunter Vaughn. Sixth-year running back Ches Malusi has been named to the Doak Walker Award watch list. The award honors the nation's top running back. Malusi is in his 4th season with Wisconsin. Last year, he had 307 yards and 4 touchdowns before an injury against Purdue ended his season early. Ches joins Nathaniel Vakos, Hunter Wooler, and Carson Pfeiffer as Badgers to earn preseason award watch list honors. Wisconsin kicks off their season Friday, August 30th as they host Western Michigan.
Bundle a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens for as low as $188 per month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
Grab a Coke and grab some cash with the Coca-Cola Summer Cash Grab, only from Quick Trip. Play daily in your Quick Rewards app for a chance to win up to $250,000. Earn extra chances to enter by purchasing any qualified Coke, Monster Energy, Powerade, Body Armor, Smart Water, or Core Power Elite products with Quick Rewards. Summer just got a whole lot cooler with Quick Trip and Coca-Cola. No purchase necessary. See QuickTrip.com/sweepstakes for details.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
What's on Tap, brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Rooting for the Brew Crew, because we're from Milwaukee too. Tastes like Miller time.
Collect a Bob Uecker Harry Doyle bobblehead at the Brewers game on August 17th, courtesy of Chevrolet. Inspired by Uecker's legendary role in the film Major League, the first 30,000 fans through the gates will get this special bobble. Get your tickets at brewers.com/giveaways.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball and Miller Lite.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Give me the green light, cause I'm ready to go. Let's have a good time. Let's go. What you waiting for? You only got one life, and we gon' live it up. So give me the green light.
All right, we've already said goodbye to Tausch. Oh, yo, 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 yo. Come see me at my stadium on the FIU campus. Jesse, before we go, you said you had a text message that tickled your fancy.
So the texts are rolling in on what we should name the stadium in Madison in honor of Pitbull getting the naming rights to Florida International University. But Dennis in Plover says we should consider, we've been thinking about this, Ron, we should consider Wilde and Tausch purchasing the naming rights to a stadium.
I don't know what he thinks I make.
Wilde and Tausch Stadium. We could do like for a Northwoods League team, or maybe we pick our favorite high school team. Like we could do this.
Nope, I'm good.
Tausch is in Platteville. I don't know what WIAC stadiums have naming rights available. We could look into that. Like we're on to it's right after the Hall of Fame opens up, and right after we do the murder mystery dinner party that Tausch wants to do.
Yeah, we got a few things on the to-do list right now.
I'll bowl my 300 challenge, and then we'll buy the naming rights to a Wisconsin stadium.
Sure, yeah, that is definitely going to happen. Look, again, I think it's a great idea by Pitbull. I can't believe that actually happened. It feels like an Onion headline.
It shows you what smaller colleges are going to be facing here in the years to come.
That's what they're up against, and kudos to him for helping out one of those non-big boy schools by putting his name on their stadium. Who is FAU going to get? That's what I'm curious about, since we've got some teammates down there. All right, that's it for us today. We will do this again tomorrow. Tausch will be back somewhere other than the sideline.
Controlled environment tomorrow.
Which I think is key for all of us. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Thanks to Bryan Bulaga. Thanks to Homer. And thanks to you. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin.